Hello, Wolfpack. We're back with another surprise tier list. Joining me is my brother Wolf as we talk about the Thor movies.
Salutations, everyone.
Oh, it looks like they can hear us.
Okay, good.
Good, it looks like it works. Hopefully, we finally disabled the ads, but we'll see in the chat below if that finally worked. Yeah, sorry folks, trying to mess around with some of our audio stuff, making sure we block the ads this time. Apparently I can't hear it this time.
We got a hello.
Yep, we got people showing up. Hey, I just made it. You want me to put... Oh, you want me to put the hammer down? Talking about the Thor saga. So, Wolf, I've been getting some requests to do more Marvel stuff lately because we got a lot of DC tier lists out.
Gotta make up for it, yeah.
Talking about the God of Thunder with all the Thor movies. And yes, I said all of them. There is more than the MCU here. We have all the Chris Hemsworth movies so far, plus 2 animated spin-offs, Wolf. There was like a point in time where Marvel tried their own direct-to-video animated Marvel stuff. Tragically did not succeed like DC's did.
But what about the Loki TV shows?
We're not counting them. Yeah, joining me is my brother Wolf. We're brothers in arms like Thor and Loki, minus the backstabbing.
So far.
Yep, we're gonna be talking about and ranking all the Thor movies. The good, the bad, and the love and thunder on this here tier list. So Wolf, I'll go over the rules if this is anyone's first tier list ever. And I do have fun categories this time.
Oh, good.
Because we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about Thor. Right, Hulk did fight Thor. Yep, Hulk versus Thor is here, and Thor Tales of Asgard, a very obscure movie now, but I actually watched it because I found out, oh, there was more than 4 Thor movies.
Yeah.
My bad. But yeah, gonna be ranking all 6 of them. So far, we have 6. But we're going to be talking about them on this here tier list from top best to bottom worst. And we do have fun categories. Up top is the God of Thunder. These ones are S tier. Masterpieces, epic Thor movies. I love them. Fans love them. They were a good portrayal of the God of Thunder. They are S tier. Underneath that, we have Valkyrie Valorous. These ones are good, not perfect. Had a lot of golden moments, a lot of nice things. Definitely a watchable movie, very entertaining. Had some fun here and there. Might have some criticisms, or it wasn't completely perfect, but they are A tier. They're Valkyrie Valorous. In mid-tier, we have Warriors Third. Yeah, it's kind of a stretch, but that's what I'm going with it. These ones, mid-tier, they're alright, they're fine. Equal amount of good and bad. Definitely Silver Skull territory type of movies, and honestly, Wolf, we might be seeing a lot more Thor movies down here.
Probably.
But yeah, these ones, they're the okay. They're the painfully average. Then underneath that, we have Loki Lame. These ones are duds. They're lame ducks. Very weak entries in the saga. Might be seeing some down here too, but these ones, they came in, had a few good moments, but a lot more overwhelmingly bad. They are a lame duck. They're as lame as Loki. And at F tier, we have Puny God. These ones are total losers. 0 out of 10. Worst of the series. The worst Thor movie ever. And I think you guys know exactly what will end up down here. But we'll have a fun time critiquing, praising, and talking about all these films. Good, bad, and the love and thunder. But yeah, this one, F tier. And that's pretty much our tier list, Wolf. Going with a very simple one because not too much to talk about, honestly.
And there's only 6 movies.
Yeah, there's the 4 MCU movies and 2 animated ones. Yes, some people forget there were some animated movies that were out
like
there.
2 Hulk versus ones I know.
Yeah, there's Hulk versus Wolverine and Hulk versus Thor. I counted this one because we really need this tier list to end on a positive note.
Yeah. And then I know there's the next Avengers. They got an animated movie as well.
Yeah, the new Avengers, like they were the children of them.
Yeah.
Like Thor's daughter was there. Not counting that one though, because all the adult Avengers were dead. Okay.
Except for Bruce Banner, he lived. He helped fight Ultron.
Funnily enough, he was the only one who didn't have a kid. There was the son of Black Widow and Captain America. Wasp and Ant-Man had a kid, I've never actually watched that one all the way through.
I've only seen an AMV of the fight in it, so I don't know the whole story behind it. Honestly, part of me is tempted to do a review on it.
How long will this stream be with only 6 movies?
Probably
we'll
not that long.
Probably like at least 2 hours or less, hopefully. But Wolf, I've never asked you this before either. What do you think of Thor as a character?
Well, the Norse god is the whole pantheon's pretty vast. Actually, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in there.
Right, DC claimed the Greek god, so they got
Norse.
Thor, the Norse gods.
Yeah. As for the character himself, I don't feel much about him. He's always just been a kind of fine character, but never exuding the same sort of prospects that either Captain America or Tony Stark had.
He was kind of Marvel's answer to Wonder Woman, wasn't he?
Kinda, yeah. Where they're the divine being that fits as the third wheel, kind of.
Right, Hulk's a god, he's kind of a fish out of water. He learns to care about mortal life and decides he wants to protect both Asgard and the mortal realm. They call it Midgard.
Yeah.
Or Midworld,
yeah. because that's part of the 9 realms of the actual mythology.
Right, Thor's story is always he's kind of getting his ego in check, being kicked off his high horse, getting humbled, learning to be less arrogant, and coming to care about these mere mortals as something special and not like insects beneath him. Thor wants to become kind of a protector of both worlds.
Right.
And that's what makes him very interesting. I do like it. Not gonna lie, I do not like Chris Hemsworth's Thor all that much.
I think he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Some movies he's painful and cringe, especially Love and Thunder, but
sometimes it's kind of fun.
Yeah, sometimes it is. I did like the serious movies a bit more than the comedic ones.
Yeah.
There was a huge tonal shift come Ragnarok, and yeah, we'll talk about that soon, but never really liked him, but I don't really hate him all that much.
Exactly.
He's always been in between for me. The first Thor I actually cared about was Earth's Mightiest Heroes Thor.
Of course.
That cartoon is so good, Wolf.
It really captures Tony Stark's character according to that one video.
It made me care about my least favorite Avenger. That's how good it was. I never cared about Thor until I saw him on that cartoon. He is actually very layered, very complex, actually badass. He does undergo a humbling arc there, but he also becomes true companions with the Avengers. Spoiler alert, we're not counting the Avengers movies on these tier lists because those are ensemble casts.
Right.
We're counting solo titles. This character is the center of everything. They're the one who matters. They're the one on screen. It's set in their storyline. So sorry, no Avengers. Yeah, it got really cloudy and dark.
Yeah, and we're only talking about Thor. Man, I don't know if that's a coincidence or not.
He's gonna strike us down if we don't agree with all of it. Don't ruin it, James Gunn. I hope not.
I think he will.
So when are we counting down? Very soon. Just wanted to get basic info out of the way. So what do you think of Chris Hemsworth as Thor overall?
He's fine.
He's fine. He's kind of the mid-Avenger to me.
Yeah.
Again, I wanted to like him. I did enjoy Ragnarok a lot when I first saw it. The first 2 movies I think are also fine. Love and Thunder kind of ruined Thor's image for everyone. I honestly didn't love him as an Avenger all that much. He wasn't my top tier character. I grew to like him in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, as I said. Again, that show's amazing, Wolf. You gotta see it.
Uh-huh.
I thought he was alright in general. He's far from my favorite hero, but he was still fine. Yeah, that's kind of the consensus. A lot of people think Thor is fine in the MCU.
Right. He never does an outstanding feat, deed, or character moment. But he never delivers a bad one either before Love and Thunder.
Well, what I liked is I was kind of hoping they would embrace more of the mythical elements, the magic of Marvel. They kind of do, but also don't go as far with it.
They go Magitech after Dark World.
Yeah, Dark World started leaning more towards sci-fi, and it stayed that way for the longest while, even in the animated movies. The first one and Tales of Asgard are the only ones that are pure sword and sorcery type of fantasy.
Right. I'm not averse to a lot of stories where it's oh yeah, the gods actually, what we think of as magic is actually insanely advanced tech. I know Fate Grand Order does this best, where the Greek gods are actually giant mechas.
Okay, they can't hear us.
Okay.
Alright, first is Thor 2011. I hope it makes it on A tier. Yeah, I think it will. I liked it, but Wolf and I are gonna have a debate about it. Alright, Hulk did fight Thor. Fought Thor twice in Ragnarok and Hulk versus. I know when we work together.
Didn't they also have the group spar in Avengers?
They did. They did.
It was Cap, Thor, Iron Man, and Hulk all fought in the forest.
Right, I remember that. Yeah. Then Iron Man brought out the Hulkbuster armor.
Right.
What about his other cartoons? Well, Thor hasn't really had any solo cartoons.
Yeah, he's always just been attached to other things.
Right, if he's in animated stuff, he's usually attached to the other Avengers. He never had his own solo show like Spider-Man or Iron Man do.
Right.
I think he's kind of like a hard character to market towards children.
Right, and also it's like, how much do you have to take from the mythology then?
Right, and he speaks in like old English language. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
They poke fun of it in a few shows and movies, but yeah, it's kind of hard for like little kids to gravitate towards the character.
Right, yeah, they usually have to bounce off of someone. That's kind of like why Etrigan is also another great character to have attached to Batman.
But he always speaks in rhyme and old English.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Because they contrast so heavily, it makes it a bit more enjoyable.
Yeah, some characters work better if they're a part of like an ensemble team, and Thor has always been one of them.
Yeah.
The movie is definitely varying degrees of good and bad, which we'll be going over very shortly. Just want to get over the comments.
Yep.
I mean, if we want another short tier list, why not do Iron Man? He did have some animated movies.
Right.
I remember the Rise of the Technovore was a movie, and Iron Man versus Punisher was like an animated short.
God.
Hulk was never in the forest in Avengers. Hulk did punch Thor in a building, though.
Oh, okay.
Shorter. Iron Man had animated movies, too. That he did, and a lot more obscure than Thor's, though. If I were to rank these, I'd place the animated movies on a different area where Never Watched exists. Yeah, some people feel the same. James is giving us his thoughts. He would rank Ragnarok as number 1, Thor as 2nd, Dark World D, and Love and Thunder were last place. That'd be my idea. I understand, James. I understand. Alright, so making sure you guys can't hear ads. Alright, let's finally start this tier list, Wolf.
Yeah, finally.
Starting with the first movie, Thor 1. Where do you want to rank this one? This is basically Thor's origin, and I always thought it was okay.
Yeah, it's fine. The only problem I really have with it is it feels like it should end at a certain point, but then it keeps going. It has like 2 other plot beats it tries to wrap up, and those feel like stapled onto it.
Right, so Phase 1 was definitely the formulaic era for the MCU movies. Basically, hero's origin, see the hero rise, see him fail, see an introduction to a villain who's a dark mirror to the hero,
right.
And eventually big giant boss fight where the hero proves himself.
Yeah, classic storytelling that always works.
Right, so if you don't know who Thor is, this is kind of a decent intro to the character. Thor is an arrogant warrior. He is a show-off, he is always on his high horse, and he is very bloodthirsty in this movie. Thor is an ultimate badass. He is destined to be the king of Asgard, and he has a huge ego problem. He always disobeys his father, Odin, the king of Asgard. Going against him, they were at war with the Frost Giants, but there was seemingly a truce. But the Frost Giants broke in and tried to steal the Tesseract, which is an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, but we didn't know at this point.
Right, they were setting it up because they were clever back then. They got fried by the Destroyer, and Thor sees this as an act of war. They need to strike back. They were invaded. Odin doesn't want to do that because, well, no harm was actually done. They succeeded at killing the intruders with the Destroyer boss.
Also, the other fact of it being it was a small force, not an entire army.
This could have just been
individuals and not an actual attack.
Right, like a small gang or militia,
right, like a small rebel group inside of a much larger nation.
Thor decides, screw that, we're gonna fight them. He recruits the Warriors 3, Lady Sif, and his brother Loki. Loki is portrayed very differently in the MCU compared to the old comics, Wolf.
Well, yeah, he's not completely evil.
Right, that's kind of the huge difference. Loki is a monster in the old comics. Here, they kind of make him the sad, unloved son. He's the weak, shy, timid one, but he has kind of a trickster side to him.
Right.
This would be kind of retconned in later movies, but yeah, basically, Loki hired the Frost Giants to invade them to start this war because he had a huge chess master scheme to kick Thor out of the throne. Thor, of course, goes to fight the Frost Giants, almost doesn't, but then they insult him, then he kills them all, fights them, and this declares war between the Frost Giants and the Asgardians. Odin is royally pissed off, and takes his son's powers and hammer away, casting him on Earth basically to humble him. Daddy cuts Thor off, and Thor basically has to learn humility. He's now a weak mortal like the rest of us, and he's on Earth getting in wacky adventures where he meets Jane Foster, played by Princess Amidala herself, Natalie Portman.
Yep.
What do you think of the human characters, Wolf, since they are a factor in the saga?
They are also fine.
Right.
They don't...
In this movie, they're fine.
They're not annoying, and they don't really push me that much. And for this first movie, they are plenty important since it's to show the humanity side that Thor needs to learn about.
Tom Hiddleston is the best Loki. Well, I kind of like Graham McTavish a bit more. He's the voice actor for Loki in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and also Hulk vs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Hulk vs. got most of the EMH cast to replay their characters.
That makes sense.
And I really like him because he's more sinister Loki. Tom Hiddleston is kind of tragic yet trickster Loki. I thought he was fine.
Yeah.
The human characters, Wolf, I thought Jane Foster was fine. They also alter her character. In the comics, she's actually like a ambulance medic. She saves people, and the fact that she helps people despite being immortal is supposed to inspire Thor.
Yeah, that actually would make a lot more sense.
Right,
instead of her being the researcher that she is.
Right, instead she's a scientist researching Asgardian portals and trying to find out if mythological creatures are real. It's kind of just a contrivance to get these two to meet each other. Yeah. That's basically why they do it. They find Thor, and Thor spends basically, she runs him over.
Yeah.
I didn't run him over, I grazed him. And, of course, Thor falls for Jane Foster because she's Natalie Portman, and he's Chris Hemsworth. They slowly fall in love, and Jane is supposed to kind of have a similar arc to Thor, where they're both kind of egotistical, impulsive, chasing their dreams, and ignoring the consequences that will obviously follow.
They're both hot-headed.
Right, and I will say Jane Foster's not the worst love interest we ever had. I think Liv Tyler's Betty Ross was boring, but here she's kind of meh.
She's just fine. Is my big take with it's
all fine. It's just average and adequate. Yeah.
It's like would I race to see this again? No. If it's on, maybe. But
right.
I'll still enjoy the time.
Right.
It's not like a complete waste.
Honestly, the best part is Thor loses his hammer, and the hammer crashes somewhere in like New Mexico or Arizona desert.
New Mexico.
Yeah, it crashes in like the desert, and all these like rednecks and guys are trying to take it.
You got barbecue set up there to make it a tailgate party.
They make it like a game. Who can lift the hammer?
That is the most American thing.
Also, the funniest Stan Lee cameo. He tries to take it with his tow truck, and it destroys a truck. Did it work? Of course, if you saw Iron Man 2, the post-credit scene reveals that the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents find it, and they quarantine the area. We see Agent Coulson, and Hawkeye gets like a 5-second cameo.
It's so bizarre seeing him here.
Yeah, like Thor breaks in, and Hawkeye gets his bow, and he never even shoots a friggin' arrow.
Right, he just has him in his sights. He could take the shot.
Sigh. Yeah, human characters were not the strongest throughout the Thor movies. Jane was fine in the first, before she got worse later, and Darcy... No, I never liked Darcy.
That's fair.
Yeah, Kat Dennings' character.
She's the geeky comedic one.
Right, who isn't all that funny.
Yeah.
I thought she was more annoying in the Dark World. Here she's passable. She's not as obnoxious yet. But yeah, basically... Jane Foster and her team find Thor, find out that Asgardians are real. They kind of question him, and Thor goes through a fish out of water story temporarily until he finds out the hammer is here. He believes that if he gets his hammer back, he'll get his godhood back and prove himself. Yep. And while this is happening, they're bonding, while Loki slowly snakes his way in the politics of Asgard. He's manipulating events. Odin is falling into the Odin sleep. If you don't know what this is, Wolf, Odin basically hibernates and recharges his powers. I do like Anthony Hopkins as Odin. He was actually pretty well casted.
Oh, yeah.
Though I thought Clancy Brown had a more commanding voice as Odin. Yeah, I mean, he just uses his Lex Luthor voice anyway.
Oh, good, he doesn't use the Mr. Krabs one.
Right, we find out Loki learns he's part frost giant. He's not actually a biological son of Odin.
Which, if you know the mythology, you should already know this.
Right, he turns like a male Mystique briefly. Right. And Loki apparently
never does that again.
Yeah, he never does. We saw this, we saw all these movies and he never reverts back to his true form.
He never goes frost giant.
But no, he just stays Tom Hiddleston because it's cheaper that way. He feels betrayed and basically conspires against his own family to usurp the throne.
Yep.
Loki becomes a villain. They try to make him tragic about it, but I didn't really feel that bad for him.
It's a self-made tragedy is the thing. Because he's been raised in this loving environment. He is the only one that thinks these things.
Right.
And that is why it is tragic.
But he's basically butthurt because he thinks they chose Thor over him because he's their biological kid.
Yeah.
And so, basically plots to murder his family. He wants to keep Thor banished forever, take over while Odin's KO'd, and basically make himself the leader. The Warriors 3 and Lady Sif catch on to him, realize he's not going to be a good king, go searching for Thor. This is the one scene I do like in the movie where Thor breaks into the S.H.I.E.L.D. area.
Oh, yeah, and just beats everyone up.
Right, and he tries to lift the hammer and it doesn't work, proving that he's not worthy of the hammer. And it's finally the first lesson he learns that it's all his fault. That he's not worthy, that he lost his worthiness of lifting Mjolnir, and kind of a harsh reality check that Thor does need to change. Yeah, I thought it was like the best scene of the movie.
Yeah, it is a really good scene because you have the like heroic music behind him as he's taking on everyone.
Agent Coulson even kind of lets him try. He wants to see what happens.
Yeah, because he's insanely curious about it. But like, it is such a good thing, even though it's the most obvious thing of upswell in the music, heroic triumph.
Right, you know it's not gonna work, and
it comes down, and he's not successful, and then he just yells.
Right, he's so pissed, he's upset, he's heartbroken.
Yeah.
Basically, realizing that, he's not going to change this instantly.
Right.
Thor has to earn the hammer back.
Yeah.
They unfortunately get arrested, and Jane Foster loses all her tech, and Jane and Thor have heart-to-heart moments here. I will say I was okay with their relationship. A lot of people ship Thor with Lady Sif more because...
I can see why, because they're warriors who bled on the battlegrounds together.
Closer together. Lady Sif is risking being attacked by Loki and the military since he's in command now because she wants to save Thor. It worked better in some other Thor stories. Here, Lady Sif is just kind of a side character.
Yeah.
I do like Jamie Alexander, though. But yeah, they break out of Asgard, go to save Thor. Thor is completely powerless. He can't help. Loki actually shows up and tells him, father's dead, and you can't ever return to Asgard. Basically gaslighting his brother, lying to him, and Loki is taking over by removing his brother out of the picture. Both the other in the chain of command are gone.
Yeah.
He takes over the kingdom, remakes it into his own personal playground, while Thor kind of angst, feels butthurt, and now he's fully exiled, or so he thinks. His friends show up, tell him everything, and Thor gets his groove back and decides to fight back. Where we do get another decent scene where Loki finds out that Thor is going to be recruited by the Warriors and come back, so he dispatches the Destroyer to be the mega boss to assassinate his brother. And I feel like that Thor actually stands up to it without his powers, pleading with him like, Loki, these people are innocent, just take me instead. And he bitch slaps Thor to death. That's what happens.
Honestly, yeah. There's no way he survived that.
Right, he gets smacked, and this act of self-sacrifice and humility finally allows him to get Mjolnir. Mjolnir feels him, senses him, and flies all the way back to him where Thor gets his powers back, and he effortlessly destroys the Destroyer. Right. I thought there was gonna be a huge fight with this thing. I remember that in all the marketing and commercials, but no, he
gets the longer fight with everyone else, which I will say I really love that fight. It is very creative with how it can move around.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. You like the fight on the Rainbow Bridge against Loki?
That one's fine.
That one was alright. There was so much green screen, though.
Alright.
I remember Idris Elba's also in this movie as Heimdall.
Yeah.
He is actually alright. He's usually just a wise advisor to Thor and Odin. He gets frozen because he's too OP, but he's also so badass he breaks himself out. Loki allows the Frost Giants in, only to betray and kill them. I guess his plan was kind of to frame him for Odin's death.
Yeah, and then that way Loki is now the hero.
Right, he kills the Frost Giant leader. Also,
insane conspiracy of betraying both sides.
Yeah, Loki wants the power for himself, makes the Frost Giants look like the instigators of the war, kills their leader, then plans to kill Thor because he's the only thorn in his side now. They have that epic duel on the light bridge, and I think the fight is fine. The one thing that kind of ruined it for me was Loki's death scene where he T-poses into the black hole void.
Yeah, that's still dumb even with today's effects.
I know. I remember everybody complained about it back then, and it does look pretty hokey now.
Right.
Yeah, Odin shows up to save both his sons, but Loki still feels betrayed by Dad and his brother, so he lets go and falls into the void where he T-poses, and somehow he survives this. He shows up alive in the Avengers. Apparently some fans theorize he was actually saved by Thanos and recruited through there.
Would make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense, but we never see it happen on screen. That was the only issue. But yeah, Loki is presumed dead. Thor proves himself. It's actually a victorious day. They saved the Earth realm and they saved Asgard at the same time. They're rebuilding, and Odin finally has a heart-to-heart with his son, telling him that he's finally grown up. Thor admits that he was flawed and he wants to work on himself, be a better hero now, realizes that a king has to make tough choices, and it costs them a lot because now they destroyed the Bifrost at the end of this movie. It gets rebuilt because
Right.
of course it does, but he loses contact with Jane Foster, and Jane now feels kind of some validation in her theories, but is now sad that Thor's gone, where she has like her own science team. She gets hired by S.H.I.E.L.D. thanks to her heroics, and she's trying to find Thor once again to reunite.
Yeah.
Which will be dumped by the second movie. Yeah, Jane and Thor are now star-crossed lovers, which I will admit is a pretty interesting idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thor is finally now a hero and better off, ending the movie. Oh, but we get a post-credit scene where we set up the Avengers, Dr.
Yeah.
Selvig's being possessed by Loki, even though the two have never met in this film.
Right.
Yeah, honestly, this movie, I thought was fine.
Exactly.
Like, where would you rank it?
I
We were talking
honestly-
about, like, A or B,
I
honestly.
want to put it in B.
Really, B?
I think it's fine, yeah. Like I said, the ending, it feels like it's stapled on too much.
Right, it could have ended at any earlier period. Yeah, I know
And
you
the
like that.
rest of it's fine. It's got good comedy in there. Again, I really like the fight with the Destroyer. How it like can maneuver its own body and contort it in weird ways
Yeah, that was
to
cool.
avoid destruction and make it a counterattack.
A lot of the CGI is actually held up well in this
Yes,
movie.
I-
Minus
of
the
course.
climax,
Yeah.
minus that part.
But yeah, the effects really do look nice still.
Yeah, I thought the characters are all pretty fine. Darcy wasn't annoying yet. I did think the romance between Thor and Jane was actually decent.
Yeah.
Like, they're both kind of kindred spirits in this movie. She's not the best love interest, but honestly, the movie wasn't made worse for it.
Right.
I do like the story about the family drama, how basically they're not perfect, they're actually really dysfunctional, they're falling apart, and basically this movie is about getting over their selfishness and ego. That's kind of like all of them. Loki kind of gave into his ego and his pain, whereas Thor had to adapt, had to learn from it, and he becomes a better person for it.
Right.
Honestly, that was pretty nice. But yeah, you want to put it on Warriors 3rd?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, first Thor movie, and it's fine. Yeah, it's
We've
alright.
been saying that all the time.
Yeah, sorry guys, but I do think there's better MCU movies and, better Marvel movies in general over this one.
Yeah.
I think it's a Silver Skull territory. Yeah, don't let the Warriors 3rd rank fool you. This is definitely okay. It's decent. Thor 1 is a fine movie. But speaking of which, let's get to the most hated movie in the MCU, Thor the Dark World.
Yeah, that we both saw for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, I know, and I gotta say, I'm kind of shocked. I asked, this is the worst movie of the MCU?
Yeah, I really have to go back to that time, I think,
Like-
to see the conversations around
This
it.
was the one everyone hated? I thought Ant-Man was worse, honestly. Yeah, we made it to Thor the Dark World, a movie you'll either really hate or really love or fall smack in the middle.
Yeah.
And yeah, honestly, I didn't think it was that bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I didn't get what people were hating about it. I mean,
I'm sure our comments will fill us in.
yeah, we'll see some comments here. Dark World is bad, but Dark World sucks. Hey, Akira, you made it. And in Norse mythology, Thor and Loki are not brotherly related.
Well, they're like half
They're
brothers.
like half brothers, yeah.
That's been always in it.
Right. And I'm sure we'll never see Loki again. Wink. Oh yeah, Akira, I got your fan art. I like the Daphne and Ira death battle pose. It's just a strong hammer according to mythology, or from what I looked up on Wikipedia and stuff, it doesn't actually shoot lightning.
Right, of course not.
Well, it's
That's-
an
that's more
exaggeration for superheroes. Also, according to the timeline, this is taking place at the same time as Iron Man 2 and the Incredible Hulk 1.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I didn't know Hulk 1 was this late.
We need Yellow Lost Galaxy Ranger Maya's actress to play Shanna the She-Devil for Marvel Rivals. She would be perfectly casted. They're both jungle girls. Loki became a frost giant in What If. Yeah, Wolf hasn't seen any of
I
those.
don't care to see the what if stuff.
Yeah, me neither, but I saw it because
Alright.
Sam Raimi had to tie it into Doctor Strange Mom.
Oh, god, that's right.
Yeah, the evil Doctor Strange
Yeah,
from the What If shows
from
up as the
that,
villain in that
yeah.
movie.
Or series.
Don't forget the unfunny Kat Dennings as Darcy. Yeah, she's really unbearable in this one.
I mean, yeah, but like, it's still it's still controlled, I think.
Well, it kinda was, but now there's way worse now. Yeah, that's kind of the consensus. The Dark World was the worst movie of the MCU, but we have gotten so many worse movies that The Dark World now looks better in comparison.
Yeah.
And honestly, yeah, that kind of did affect my opinion, because I've seen way worse from the MCU. I did get what people hate about this one.
I really need to see I need to see Shadowlink come in with it.
Right.
Because he usually posts the longer comments, which I do enjoy.
Its strengths are with Loki and Thor, yep. Its weaknesses are with its villains and the comedy parts.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people, I found out people do not like Malekith the Accursed, the Dark Elf. They found him boring and generic.
Which, yeah, that's a fair thing to say.
They
That
did
is
give him
good...
kind of a motivation.
But yeah, he is pretty straightforward.
Just straightforward evil guy. He's from an evil race, the Dark Elves. The Dark
Drow,
Elves were
yeah.
defeated centuries ago. They went into hiding, only to come back because their super weapon was rediscovered and reignited.
Yeah.
And basically he wants to drench the world in darkness.
He wants to return the universe before there was light.
Right, in a world of darkness. And yeah, that's basically it. Very straightforward.
Very
Honestly,
edgy, honestly.
Christopher Eccleston plays him, one of the best Doctor Who's, and
I still can't hear it.
I couldn't tell it was him either.
Right? It doesn't sound anything like it.
He like deepens his voice, and he speaks in like old Elfish throughout half the film. So yeah.
Which I do enjoy when a movie does that. They use the made-up language.
Right. Honestly, I don't really hate the Dark Elves. Yeah, they were kind of generic, but it didn't really ruin the movie for me. It's like all about the brothers, mainly.
Yeah, and also sometimes you can have a story that has straightforward evil villains.
Right, like Iron Man 3 kind of did that too, and people like that one. What, you don't like the Mandarin and the drunk
the problem
guy?
is, because those are, like... They're not complex, of course.
Right.
But it still is the twist villain.
Honestly, I didn't really mind, because it feels like Thor should be fighting, ancient evil villains. That feels like
more the
something that
magic
fits in.
ones, or the magic tech as they're moving, because these drow have lasers.
Right. Thor is in a much better place. Loki's been arrested after the events of Avengers 1. Odin is finally getting Asgard back into peaceful times. Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Yeah.
And then they accidentally find the Aether, the Dark Elves' weapon.
Yeah, so
Jane Foster and her team.
Conversely on Earth, there are a bunch of disturbances and like sort of invisible portals popping up every now and again.
Right, Dr. Selvig's gone crazy and was taken to the nut house with Stan Lee.
Right.
We see Jane and Darcy trying to keep up the experiments, and they find portals to another world. They talk to children who play in an abandoned warehouse.
Right.
And apparently you could throw stuff in, sometimes it comes out, sometimes it never does. Darcy's boyfriend throws his car keys in there.
God.
Dumbass.
I know, right?
But yeah, basically, they find out there's portals to another world, the Dark World. And Jane accidentally falls into one of these portals.
I think she jumps into
She's
it.
sucked in Silent
She wants
Hill
to
style or
see
something.
it, basically.
She gets
Oh,
up
no, that's right,
close
she
and it
walks in.
takes her into the Dark World, where she touches the deactivated super weapon, and a literal small cell of this thing connects with her, turning her into the vessel carrying it. This reactivates the Dark Elves' technology. Malekith detects it and has to find it, leading to a hunt for Jane Foster. She's carrying basically the superpower that they need to complete their full-scale invasion and make it a dark universe.
Yeah, and if anyone dares to threaten her, it will react to it and blast everything away.
Right, Thor finally returns to Earth for the first time since Phase 1, and he re-meets Jane, where they have a will they won't they kind of romance. So a lot of people did not like the human characters, Wolves, and I can kind of understand that, because the human characters are usually never interesting.
Right.
Especially compared to the magic or larger-than-life characters.
Yeah.
I honestly thought Natalie Portman was slightly funnier in this one compared to the first one. They give her a bit more personality and charm. She wants to help Thor resolve this conflict, and she realizes that, oh no, she's now in danger. She's super duper important, and everyone's after her. The Darcy and her boyfriend subplot was honestly kind of pointless.
Yeah, so it's not their romance, yes, that is pointless.
Yeah.
But their actions in it, it feels pointless, but it slowly builds up to the crescendo at the end where everything comes together. Because for a good while, when it cuts back to them, I was often thinking, why are we here?
Well, basically, they bust Dr. Selvig out of the nut house.
They're still doing the research about the gravity disturbances. They need to get Selvig back, collect notes with him, And then
all they really do is make those portal machines.
Yeah.
That's all they really add in the end.
right, which is still,
It's important, but honestly could have been sped through a bit faster.
all this is tied to the celestial event of celestial alignment, or convergence.
Meanwhile, the more interesting is this plot is happening on Asgard.
know.
Thor takes Jane with him to be studied by Asgardian doctors, which I was kind of surprised they had.
I know,
like
right?
doing scans of her, and I do like really cool effects anytime somebody touches Jane. They get electrocuted and shot,
Right.
like they're blasted by a nuclear ray.
Yeah.
Jane Foster is carrying the Aether, and they need to get it out of her. The Dark Elves find where Jane is and simultaneously find Asgard, where they launch like a Star Wars invasion upon Asgard. And honestly, the action in this movie is really good, especially compared to later Marvel movies. Like, what happened? In the worst Marvel movie, they have like a full-scale Clone Wars action scene.
Right, and it's really cool. Even though their ships are really stupid, they're also cool.
I saw someone made an AMV of this with using Battlefront. Battlefront music.
Nice.
Yeah, the Dark Elves have these cloaking ships. They invade Asgard, and again, I gotta question why this was the worst movie, because this invasion scene was really cool. Malekith and his elves are attacking. His second in command gets mutated into that weird hulking elf.
becomes the cursed, which honestly, that I don't know why they treat it as like something worse or like more dire than it actually is.
Hi, Cat and Wolf. Hey, Bat Kid.
Because the guy's talking to him like, oh yes, this will be the last time we see each other, old friend.
You'll never be normal after this.
And like, he just becomes a berserker, but he still has intelligence to function as a person. He's not on rampages. He can still speak normally.
He's like not a beast or anything, or feral.
He can comprehend things. He becomes more durable. Like, there is no downside to this thing.
I thought he's like gonna suicide bomb himself. No, he turns into like a lava monster briefly.
Yeah.
Like busts out of Asgardian prison as like a Trojan horse, lets them in. Basically, this leads to the only event that matters in this movie. Thor's mom dies.
Yeah.
Malekith attacks. The mom protects Jane Foster, teleports her away. Malekith kills her, basically, when they don't give him the information or what he wants. And this pretty much changes everything. Loki is broken by the death. Thor is emotional. He, like, burns Malekith's face. Honestly, really cool attack scene.
Oh, yeah.
And Odin completely loses his cool, goes full warlord mode, wants to exterminate the Dark Elves and blames himself for his wife's death.
Yeah, he wants revenge.
Right, basically Asgard is more broken than ever. Thor decides he has to do things his own way, and this is like the one movie where Thor isn't trying to find himself, which is really funny. Everybody said that's the plot of all these movies.
Right, but this one, he actually comes to the conclusion by it.
Right, Thor is actually, at his most mature in this movie, really missed a serious Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thor decides he has to do things his way. He doesn't want to let any more Asgardians die, doesn't want to genocide the entire elf race. He just wants to purge the Aether out of Jane.
Right, and he has a plan, even though it may be flawed and may not work, of, alright, we'll get Jane over, and when the Aether comes out, we'll attack it, because it'll be most vulnerable then.
He works with his brother Loki, and this is pretty much the highlight and main point of the movie. Thor and Loki are finally forced to work together, kind of confront a bit of their drama, not all of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, they're kind of questioning if Loki's gonna betray them. I want to trust you, Loki, and your favorite joke, if you betray Thor, I'll kill you, which, like, 4 characters are...
Right, Thor tells him it, one of the warriors, I think
Lady
2 of them.
Sif also tells him it. Yeah, basically all of them say it. And Loki, like, okay, I heard it before. Basically, everybody was expecting Loki to betray Thor, because at this point he was full villain mode.
Right, and also, again, he is the god of trickery and deceit.
Right, they abduct Jane, they break them out, and they steal the Dark Elf ship, which apparently they didn't destroy or remove from the palace. Like, oh, you missed one column, brother. And like, Loki's like criticizing his driving as they have a Star Wars chase. This scene was really cool. These effects have held up very nicely.
Yes, all the action is solid.
Yeah, I was amazed. Dark World, the worst movie, still has better action than the later Marvel stuff. They escape, and the ship was actually a distraction. They jump out into a smaller ship. They take Loki's secret passage, which is like a narrow hole all the way to the...
Threading a needle with a big boat.
It's how he hacks into the Bifrost, and they take it to portal themselves to the Dark World. It turns out this is like a very convoluted plan to trick Malekith.
Yeah.
Malekith arrives at the Dark World because he's not after Asgard, he's after Jane. He wants the Aether. They get there. Loki pretends to betray Thor, which I will admit I did fall for this. I thought he was, but no, it was another elaborate scheme. Yeah, he pretends to assassinate Thor. They remove the Aether from Jane, but it turns out, nope, Thor didn't get his hand cut off. He's fine. It was all partially an illusion, and they double team Malekith.
Yeah.
They fight, but oh no, he still gets the Aether anyway, and the second-in-command guy finally dies here. Really gruesome death,
honestly,
getting killed
really good fight as well.
Right, he fights both the brothers. They finally work together and trust each other, and kill him with one of those black hole grenades.
Yeah, that is still an insane weapon that they should bring back.
Really gruesome death, too. The guy's, like, dying from the inside as the black hole rips him apart.
God.
Really cool scene. Loki is, quote-unquote, dead. Yeah, nobody fell for it either. Even the movie didn't pretend.
Right.
Loki got injured. He pretends he died, but no, he transforms and sneaks off, while Thor and Jane find the portals back to Earth, realizing this is where all the garbage has been teleporting. That the portals take them back to Earth, where they assemble with the human team finally after an hour and a half.
Yep, and we finally get the battle plan of how to do this and fix convergence.
Right, they're all going to converge on Greensburg or wherever.
Yeah, Greenwich.
Greenwich, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to converge on Greenwich, and this is where, like, all of it pinpoints, where the Dark Elves show up in their giant ship to basically, like, land it as, like, a lightning rod to spread the darkness across the world. Where they have a big epic boss fight, and once again, I do like the action here. Malekith are like jumping through portals, teleporting through different areas.
Yeah, because all the realms are aligned, and they're gonna bleed into one another. So things from one realm can go into the next. Right. And they use this to, honestly, a pretty good effect.
It was actually a pretty good climax. I would dare say it was better than the first films.
Right.
And Mjolnir having to U-turn around like 5 times.
Poor Mjolnir.
Dark World was one of the worst until Eternals and the Marvels and the rest of Phase 6 to 7.
MCU.
I forgot that one where Captain Marvel released. Captain Marvel, the first one was in Phase 3. I think Phase 5 we got the Marvels.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean Phases 4 and 5. 6 is starting at this point.
It's so hard to keep track of the phases after Endgame, really.
Yeah, I know. We haven't even had an Avengers movie yet.
And then, of course, don't forget all the 20 billion shows they're crapping out.
Wait, what did you say 11 words ago? I thought the climax was pretty good. Someone talked about the collector scene was wasted in the end credits. Well, technically it wasn't, because it does bridge into Avengers.
Yeah.
They give the collector the Infinity Stone, and he's planning to get more, only for Thanos to show up and steal it.
Yeah, I was surprised the Asgardians call them Infinity Stones as well, because we've had the Tesseract this entire time.
Right.
So, like, why are they on this new term now?
Yeah. So the human characters actually do kind of come through here. They're helping with their pulls, and Thor even uses them as weapons. I like how he throws them and teleports his limbs away.
Yeah,
That's
as he's releasing all the Aether at once.
Right, he has it all. He's about to overload the universe in darkness. He, like, rips off his arms. He throws him and teleports him into the Dark World, and hilariously, they send the entire ship crashing onto him.
Right.
Yeah, he is very much dead. I will say it was definitely satisfying that the worst villain got the most horrible death. But yeah, Thor saves the day. However, things are now slightly changing here. The status quo is shaken up a bit. Jane Foster and Thor are actually going to start dating now. They'll break up in the next sequel, but yeah.
But yeah, Thor now knows who he wants to be. He doesn't want to be king of Asgard, but he wants to be the defender of all the realms.
Yep, Thor wants to become the mighty Thor, the hero we all know and love. But Odin was also replaced by Loki. Loki showed up as a palace disguised as a guard. I do like they keep it vague if, does Odin recognize it's Loki, or is he asking about Loki's death?
Right.
Yeah, Loki jumps Odin. We are led to believe he's dead. No, we reveal that he's alive in the third movie.
Yeah.
He just got rid of his dad and dumped him on Earth in a retirement home. Really, that's what happens. Yep. And Loki is finally king of Asgard, and he takes over. But Thor and Jane are finally reunited, and it seems like things are going to at least change for the slightly better here. And we get 2 post-credit scenes, one where Thor reunites with Jane. Sadly, this romantic moment is ruined in the sequels. And then the second one where they give the Infinity Stone to the Collector.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't think that one was that bad. It did kind of explain things because Thanos will show up and steal it come Infinity War.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie honestly wasn't that bad.
I enjoyed myself greatly, honestly.
Yeah,
it was a fun... Honestly, Kat and I were both baffled by how much time had passed.
So yeah, we were like sitting through like 90 minutes at this point, and so far it's actually been pretty decent.
Right, and part of me felt like there was going to be so much more to it.
Okay, what are your negatives then, Wolf? I know the fans hate Malekith the Accursed. I will say he could have been a more interesting villain,
He
but
could have also been a bit more prominent.
Right.
He is kind of pushed aside.
He was like
for,
generic. He's a looming threat in this movie. It's fine, but he didn't really kill the movie for me.
Yeah.
Especially because Christopher Eccleston is a good actor. He's very entertaining.
Yeah, I kind of wish the Cursed had more of a downside than just becomes unkillable, but still has every other normal thing about him.
Right. Again, was one of the worst, but other terrible MCU films took its place.
No, I don't even want to say that.
Like, what came out around this time? We had,
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, which a lot of people did not like.
Yeah.
I know. We had Winter Soldier, which was good. Everybody liked that. We had Guardians of the Galaxy 1, which was good.
That came out in this
Age of Ultron also came out around this time. Some people were lukewarm on that movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't think Age of Ultron was that bad. I know you weren't a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
And we had Ant-Man, which I thought sucked.
Yeah.
I did not like Ant-Man. Honestly, I thought it was worse than this one. I think a lot of people don't like to admit that this kind of showed that the Marvel movies were not that deep. It has always been kind of basic good versus evil superhero flicks.
I guess the other thing I could maybe see about it is that at times it was lore heavy and also a bit over dramatic. I think that's what other people might see in it. Whereas, yeah, like the entire scene with the funeral, it is beautiful. It's nice that they do the Viking ritual of lighting the boat and all
goes
that.
on a bit long, like when all the lamps are set up in the sky and it falls over the waterfall into a void. Kind of killed the mood, honestly.
I know, right? But yeah, I think that moment, and also where Thor's holding Loki, I know it gets joked about in the play in the third one, but I think that moment was fine.
Like, he loves his brother, and believe it or not, Loki was supposed to be killed off in this movie.
Yeah.
They walked it back because Tom Hiddleston was popular.
Of course.
As always.
Yeah. I do also like how they kind of jokingly called back to themselves when Loki's about to be sucked into the black hole bomb, and he's doing, like, a very similar pose.
Right.
That, like, very basic, bland pose that looks awful on green screen, but it gets stopped.
I also like Loki turns into Captain America briefly.
Yeah.
Feeling the spirit of America. Patriotism.
Right.
That was actually kind of a fun use of the powers and characters. Hyping up their crossover again. And Stan Lee was pretty funny. He's in the insane asylum with the doctor.
Yeah, where Selvig's going crazy talking about convergence
right.
and all the mythology stuff and takes their shoes.
Hey, can I have my shoe back? Pretty funny. But yeah, honestly, I think this one was completely eclipsed by worse movies later.
But even, yeah.
Yeah, even Shadow's pointing out, we got the Eternals and Quantum Mania and the fourth one.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not that bad. I will say, I did not get the hate behind the Dark World.
No, I wouldn't put it in A, honestly.
It's
not perfect for S, of course, but I think it's very good still.
Going in Valkyrie Valorous. Yeah, honestly, I liked it better than the first one.
Yeah, I don't know if this is making me a normie or something. I don't know.
Don't worry, we do not have different opinions on Love and Thunder when we get to that one. But
I
honestly,
haven't seen it.
I think the Dark World's actually been redeemed. Yeah, going on A. Alright, next is the third one. Wolf, you haven't seen this one in a while, but this is Thor Ragnarok. I remember we did see it together.
Yeah.
I saw this movie in theaters back in Long Beach College.
Okay.
They were playing, like, Marvel movies for free.
Right.
I saw it, and honestly, I really liked it. Ragnarok is deemed one of the best movies of the Thor saga, and I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
So, yes, this one embraces comedy, but it was a lot more balanced in this one compared to the next one. I would call it kind of the Batman Forever of Thor movies.
Yeah, where it's good, but it sets the tone for future films, and those future films will not live up to it.
Yeah, so after Avengers Age of Ultron, Thor went on a quest to find the Infinity Stones. And he instantly failed. His quest has ended in going nowhere. He hasn't found any stones, and he somehow ended up fighting Surtur, the devil of the Thor universe.
Yeah, because Ragnarok is coming.
Right, and Ragnarok is being set up. Clancy Brown voices Surtur,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, he's pretty good, honestly. He looks really cool, he's very threatening, but we get a lot more jokes in this movie.
Yeah.
Thor is, like, complaining that, he can't see him because his cage keeps rotating, he's, like, in chains. Thor breaks out, kills Surtur, seemingly prevents Ragnarok, but we find out, nope, he hasn't. This is all building up to something bigger. Surtur ends up killed in the beginning of the movie, which is kind of a shame because it felt like he should have been a main villain. But no, he kills Surtur, takes his magic crown back with him as a trophy, and he returns to Asgard, where he instantly derails Loki's leadership. Loki's been posing as their dad, sets up that play portraying Loki as the tragic hero.
Right, and mocking the Dark World because everyone hated that.
This would become a thing in Taika's movies where he would have like a funny recapping it in case you're a new viewer.
Right.
And I thought it worked better here compared to the next one where Melissa McCarthy was Hela. Yeah, basically he finds out his dad is not his dad, and he instantly exposes Odin as Loki. Yeah, Loki, his plot kind of gets dismantled very quickly, so we could have a funny road trip with the two brothers. Apparently, something weird is happening on Earth, and the Ragnarok signs are beginning to start. They go there, they meet Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange, like, took out Loki because he thought he was a threat, and then releases him. I've been falling for 30 minutes! Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch makes a cameo. Remember that, Wolf?
Yeah.
And Thor accidentally destroys his House of Strange by summoning the Mjolnir.
Yeah.
You, like, hear a bunch of glass breaking in the background. Again, I read that one. What you, the anime terrified teacher in Ghoul School, and yes, it's a real name. What do you think of it? Haven't seen it. Dark World was one of the worst until Eternals and Marvels. Sorry, Wolf, was catching my comments.
Right, yeah.
Rest in peace, the Home Alone pigeon lady actress died.
Aw.
Yeah, that's sad. I don't remember what I said in those last 11 words, James.
Well, you already read that comment.
Right.
Pretty sure.
We are on phase 6 already. 4 and 5 just passed, and what did you purposely do a 67 joke? Or 6-7 joke? Yeah, somebody did. What'd you think of phase 4, Wolf?
God, I was checked out, I think.
Yeah, I definitely was. Honestly, you never really were a huge fan of these movies to begin with.
Or Marvel, to be fair, honestly.
Right, I watched them. There were some good ones. I loved Spider-Man No Way Home. That was a good movie. And Deadpool and Wolverine was hilarious. Until we're 90. Then we had a lot of crap. Black Widow sucked. Captain Marvel always sucked. The Marvel sucks. The Eternals was terrible and boring as hell.
Captain Falcon, Brave New World.
Yeah, we judged that one back on the 4th. That was terrible and stupid. Haven't had a lot of good Marvel stuff. Oh, and don't forget the TV shows. Massacred My Girl She-Hulk. Got Iron Fart on TV.
Don't forget Secret Wars, where Nick Fury's not good.
Right. Never actually watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
What?
There's like a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special where the Guardians abduct Kevin Bacon for Star-Lord. It's James Gunn, Wolf, being James Gunn.
Yeah, I can tell. I could see him pissing all over DC.
Could we have a TMNT character tier list? I have to finish watching one of the TMNT shows right now, and I'm not sure if Wolf's interested in watching the Turtles.
Probably not.
Ragnarok, best Thor movie. Like, Ragnarok showed Billy Butcher, actor played Scourge. Yeah, Carl Urban's in this movie. He plays Scourge, the Executioner. They retcon a lot about him. Scourge is kind of this lowly loser who gets no respect in the Asgardian Guard, and he kind of betrays them because he's afraid and he feels like nobody appreciates him.
Right.
Yeah, so it turns out Odin did not die, Wolf. He's been on Earth all along. He was, like, dumped in a retirement home. There was a deleted scene where apparently he was supposed to be homeless. But Loki, like, left him depowered on Earth somehow. And the brothers find him. Thor wants to fix this. It turns out Odin is dying. Odin has been dying for the last few movies, and now his time has come. And he makes peace with his boys, but also warns them that you have not stopped Ragnarok because now another player is entering the ring. Your sister Hela. Hela is introduced in this movie, played by Kate Blanchett, back when she was hot, so she's really kick-ass, very creepy. Hela is the goddess of death, and she's come to reclaim her rightful place as the queen of Asgard. Odin turns into stardust and becomes one with a higher plane of existence or something. Yeah, basically, Odin dies. Odin's gone. He turns into, like, stardust. And Loki and Thor instantly fight their sister, who detects that he's dead. Odin was the only one keeping her away from the realm of the living. And now she's here to kick ass and take her throne. Hela destroys Mjolnir, the hammer is destroyed in this movie, almost kills Loki and Thor, they get in a chase scene in the Bifrost, only she smacks like Thor and Loki out of it where they fall across the universe in space. Hela returns to Asgard, where she punk kills the Warriors 3 and takes over. Scourge pleads for his life, so she gives him a fair chance to be her right-hand man. And Hela basically tries to take over Asgard. She murders an entire army. We see like 1,000 troops rush her one at a time, of course, where she effortlessly kills them and destroys their armada. She starts taking over. She resurrects a bunch of soldiers to be her undead warriors, like a bunch of soldiers in the catacombs, and anyone she kills becomes like her zombie warrior. And also your favorite character, Wolf, she resurrects the giant wolf. Fenrir.
Oh, yeah, Fenrir.
Yeah, Fenrir.
Yeah, because we also have to tie this into mythological Ragnarok.
Yeah, Fenrir comes in, and Hela is basically turning the kingdom into a nightmare realm. Meanwhile, there's like a resistance. Heimdall is finally useful in these movies. Heimdall like saves a bunch of fleeing Asgardian civilians, taking them to shelter, and trying to fight back against Hela. They realize Ragnarok is still happening and it's on its way. However, we get to the real plot of this movie, Thor and Loki getting into a wacky bro trip across space. They end up on planet Scar, where they become prisoners/friends to Jeff Goldblum's The Grandmaster. There's technically two villains in this movie. One is Hela, and the other is Jeff Goldblum's The Grandmaster. Grandmaster is a lot more comedic. He is running a gladiator ring and is oppressing people, where Thor ends up being one of the warriors. He's attacked by Valkyrie, somehow tasering the god of thunder into submission. But yeah, Valkyrie shows up, and basically Thor makes new friends, makes new enemies, and finds out that the Hulk is here. Yeah, this is the big selling point. We also get Planet Hulk, kind of, in this movie.
Not really.
Not really. James, I'm only looking forward to Spider-Man 4. Yeah, that's right. Carl Urban plays Scourge, and honestly, I thought he was fine. Everyone was funny in it. Thor was funny, Hulk was funny, Loki was funny, Valkyrie was funny, Jeff Goldblum, okay, we can't have everything. Jeff Goldblum is definitely hamming it up. He's a lot more over the top. Kind of this goofy Power Ranger villain type of warlord. Yep. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster rules this world with an iron fist, and some people are arguing we're going to see him fulfill his role in Secret Wars because the Grandmaster was in that. I kind of have my doubts about it, especially now.
Right.
Well, Balder didn't show up if you read the Norse mythology. No, he didn't.
Yeah, Thor doesn't have he doesn't have his two sons either.
Like, this is the reason why Enchantress didn't show up. Okay, so apparently, Wolf, the Enchantress was supposed to be the villain of the movie, but Marvel didn't want to pander to the male gaze or make her a yandere villain for Thor. That's who the Enchantress is. Okay. The Enchantress is the one who teams up with Scourge, and we kind of make Hela a composite character of both classic Hela and Amora the Enchantress, because Amora was the sadistic femme fatale who wants to take over Asgard, but she wants to do that by marrying Thor because she has a huge crush on him. Scourge was her right-hand man. Instead, he's now Hela's right-hand man. Right. And basically that's kind of the vibe they go for. Hela even has green dark magic like Amora does. Right. Yeah, that's kind of what they did with her. What do you remember about Kate Blanchett as Hela?
Not a whole lot.
Well, she likes daggers. She likes killing people.
And I know a weird, like, I think horned helmet.
Yeah, she has that weird devil horn helmet that she can grow out of her. Yeah. Honestly, it didn't look too bad until she turns, like, giant. Then the CGI looks very cartoony. Yeah. I thought Kate Blanchett was really cool, really kick-ass. She reveals that Odin used to be evil. They were actually a warlord family. Hela did not want to change like Odin did. Odin decided to turn good, realized oppressing the galaxy was not making it a better place, and he tried to bury their dark past under the rug. He wanted to convince Hela to become good, but she was too far gone. It's why he had her banished. And Hela basically sees the brothers as kind of replacements because they're the favorites now over her.
Yeah.
And so she's trying to make herself queen to take them back to the old evil ways of Asgard. It's not too bad. I will say Cate Blanchett definitely having fun. She's also a bit over the top, but more in a scary way. Okay. Hela likes to kill a lot of people, and basically she's a terrible leader.
Yeah.
So basically, buddy road trip movie on the planet. They meet Hulk, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. So
yeah, where it's just him. Because now he has control over the Hulk.
Right, so this movie kind of serves as tying in a lot of plot threads before Infinity War. Some good and some very contrived. Apparently, Hulk ran away from Earth at the end of Age of Ultron because he was afraid the Hulk was too dangerous for Earth, so he found himself on this alien planet where Hulk is now worshipped as a folklore hero. He's like a hero, people love seeing him in the gladiator pits, there's like entire carnivals dedicated to him. Hulk is now happy and fulfilled here. Thor meets with Hulk, he wants to escape together. Hulk actually likes it here, but then Thor reminds him that Black Widow is still in love with him and wants him. He plays like a message of Scarlett Johansson, and it reverts him finally back to Bruce Banner. And Bruce actually does want to leave here because he doesn't remember what the hell happened. He's been Hulk for like 2 to 3 years in this entire time. So he decides, yeah, we need to work together to escape. They convince Valkyrie to turn good. They actually give Loki kind of a redemption arc. This is where his redemption actually worked before his TV show. Loki is at first a professional ass kisser for the Grand Master, selling out to him, helping him. Decides he does still love his brother. Loki can't run away from his problems forever, and Thor is convincing him to turn over a new leaf. Finally be the brothers who trust one another as they set up in the Dark World earlier.
Yeah. And
basically, massive heist movie, a prison break. They topple Jeff Goldblum's empire, and we meet some wacky characters. Oh yeah, don't forget Wolf. Taika Waititi's in this as Korg, the Rock Man.
Yeah.
He will get a lot worse in the next one. But yeah, basically Korg is this goofy rock monster. He actually tried to have a petition to remove their dictator, but he got arrested because he didn't have enough signatures. So now as punishment, he has to entertain the government and serve time in the pits. Yeah, honestly, Korg was actually kind of funny in this movie, but they used him in small doses. Yeah, basically, Thor befriends these gladiators, they lead a prison break, and they hijack the Grandmaster's spaceship, manage to make it to Asgard, where we have a big epic final battle, and the final battle is pretty nice. Everybody's fighting, the undead warriors are fighting the Asgardian rebels, Fenrir fights the Hulk. That was the funniest scene where Bruce tries to turn back into the Hulk. He gives this huge soul-filled speech about being a hero and making sacrifices. Then when he jumps out of the plane, he just like splash on the Rainbow Bridge. Everyone's so confused.
Right.
But yeah, Thor finally realizes who he's meant to be, the god of thunder, and he fights Hela without Mjolnir. That's what we were all building up to.
Yeah.
Thor finding himself, and he decides he wants to be the king of Asgard and the god of thunder. This will be retconned in the next movie.
Well, also, what happens to Dark World when he wants to defend all the realms?
Right. No, he realizes he needs to be a king for his people. Remembers what his dad said, "I'm not as strong as you, father." No, you're stronger. And yeah, he realizes that he does have the power inside him all along. He doesn't need a stupid friggin' hammer to beat his sister's ass.
Good, that trope as well.
Scourge also kind of turns good here. They do kind of make him feel like the classic character, ironically on his death scene. Scourge decides that he hates being evil, and he fights Hela and undead warriors with dual-wielding machine guns. It's so ridiculous, but so funny. It does feel like Scourge, because Scourge usually had honor as a character. Scourge finds himself, he tries to defend Asgard, and ends up killed by Hela, but he sacrificed himself to save a bunch of people and children. Basically, it's a nice hero's moment. Valkyrie finally sobers up, gets her groove back. Valkyrie becomes a warrior again, helps him fight Hela, but they're still losing. So Thor has this insane scheme to make Ragnarok happen to kill Hela.
Yeah.
Yeah, Loki takes Surtur's decapitated crown head and puts it in the eternal flame, turning him into Kaiju Super Devil.
Yep.
Yeah, we see him turn giant and cause Ragnarok, and Hela finally loses a battle, getting stabbed by a giant mountain sword. Yeah, Surtur succeeds in his villain end goal, destroying Asgard, even though there's no people here anymore.
Right.
But yeah, they cause Ragnarok to happen, saving the day because Asgard is not a kingdom. The people are what matter most.
Yep.
That's basically the lesson he learned. Though they kind of ruined this moment with Taika Waititi's Korg telling a joke. Don't worry, the foundation is still there, meaning it can be rebuilt. And then the entire land vaporizes. Oh, never mind. Foundation's gone. Thanks, Taika. Ruined that very sad moment. Yeah, Surtur succeeds at destroying Ragnarok, and Thor actually ends up saving everyone else. All the Asgardians are still alive.
They're
and
on the ships in their pioneering phase.
Right, they're gonna pioneer and find a new
murdered.
Asgard. Yeah, and then Thanos ambushes them.
Right. Well, so much for Asgard.
Oh, Master Splinter tier list. Phase 4 or 5, or Marvel in the 2020s was not great besides Spider-Man No Way Home and Deadpool Wolverine. Almost half the Marvel movies or shows range from meh to rotten. Yeah, that's the basic consensus. Did any of you see the new Punisher One Last Kill?
No.
No, I have not. You might need to do it if you plan to make a Punisher tier list. Yeah, I'll see it eventually. Though Thomas Jane is still classic. Ragnarok is awesome, easily in my top 10 favorite MCU movies. There's also a comedy post-credit scene, Wolf. One, there's Thanos showing up, ambushing them, because we're starting Infinity War soon.
Right.
The second is a Jeff Goldblum one.
Yeah.
We see the Grandmaster's like in a crashed escape pod, and he's surrounded by these like rainbow Tusken Raiders. Well, seems we succeeded at the revolution. You killed a lot of our guys, we killed a lot of your guys, so let's call it a tie. And that's the last we see of the Grandmaster. I'm not sure if he was killed like any normal person would be, or if we're saving him for Secret Wars, but yeah, comedy post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Honestly, this movie was pretty awesome, Wolf. It's actually really crazy, really fun. The humor was actually good in this movie for a change. And yeah, some scenes kind of too silly, but I do like that Thor accepts himself as the king of the Asgardian people. Unfortunately, this would kind of be ruined come the following movie, but this one, I think it's one of the best Thor movies. This is the first one I actually genuinely liked, so I'm gonna put it on the God of Thunder.
Right. I haven't seen it in a while, so I can't really push back, unfortunately.
Well, you love Fenrir.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a big wolf.
Big giant wolf fighting the Hulk.
Yeah, he's gonna eat the moon.
Right.
Oh no, I think that's Jormungandr.
Easily my top 10 favorite MCU movies. Good moments with Thor, Loki, Valkyrie, and even the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, before Mark Ruffalo became insufferable. And man, Hela was a great, terrifying villain. Yeah, Hela's easily the best villain in this saga. She's really cool, creepy, complex. Cate Blanchett was definitely well casted. And of course, for the male fan, she was still pretty hot before Borderlands.
Oh god, I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot she plays
where we get like 80-year-old actors.
Right. Yeah, Cate Blanchett was one of them.
God.
She used to be real pretty. She looks kind of like Morticia Addams in this film.
Okay.
But yeah, this one, really fun. It is insane comedy gold. Taika Waititi cared about Thor in this film more than the next one. Really interesting plot developments, and I will say I was definitely intrigued seeing where it would go come Infinity War. They definitely do a lot of good setup, which does pay off here. And Loki finally gets redeemed. I was actually satisfied with the two brothers reconciling and finally becoming closer by the end of this movie. It is just a fun time. Ragnarok is easily S tier. It is a God of Thunder. MCU Thor after the first movie is just American with a British accent. Superhero Squad is comedic doof, and EMH Thor is Shakespearean, like in the comics. They never had adapted Donald Blake Thor. Yeah, that's a shame. Also, could Lunar Wolf Ranger Merrick be Werewolf by Night in Marvel Rivals? We need Power Ranger actors in Marvel Rivals.
Let's just get Virgil again.
The Incredible Hulk. are? And Thor goes, yes! I know him. We work together.
Right.
And Loki, I gotta get off this planet. Loki remembers when he beat him up. That was like a meme for 10 years.
Yeah.
The puny god.
Right.
It's funny because Hulk does the same thing to Thor, and Loki's
Yeah.
like, yeah, now you know how it feels like, brother. We're not doing the get help. And get help, Thor's like carrying Loki, pretending he's wounded, then throws Loki at a bunch of guards. By the way, it's weird that Ivan and Loic look like miraculous versions of Bulk and Skull. By the way, Kat made Lady J versus Cammy White. Ooh, can't wait to see it. Also, Hela in the comics is supposed to be Loki's daughter.
Yeah.
Who's mostly a neutral character, but in the MCU, she's the greatest evil. Yeah, they do that with a lot of underworld or death gods. Like, make them full-blown monsters, because basically they want, like, kind of a satanic archetype.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Hela's supposed to be the daughter. Yeah, Wolf, do you remember much of this movie?
No.
I prefer Jane being a paramedic over a scientist. Yeah, me
that's
too.
fair.
That's
Mind
fair.
if I check OBS real quick?
Oh, sure.
Just because I can only tap the cord and make sure it's still working. Okay, everything's fine.
Yeah, I can still hear us.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
In a way, Cate Blanchett did get to play evil Galadriel from Lord of the Rings if she got consumed by the ring. Yeah, she was Princess Galadriel.
Oh, God.
Now she got to be an evil warrior princess. Sorry, Wolf, I was just checking the comments.
That's fine.
Borderlands is a bad movie.
Yeah, I
you
bet.
can say that again. Jack Black is Claptrap.
That's honestly probably the only good casting.
Right. So they combine the Mind Stone and the Cosmic Cube. The Cosmic Cube can do anything.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're about to get to Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there. We don't talk about the Borderlands movie. I agree, Shadow. I agree.
Just play the game.
Me and my sisters saw Descendants Wicked Wonderland. I gave it a B.
Okay.
Did not like Aquafina as Cheshire Cat. God.
Oh, God.
Yep, everybody's getting ready for Love and Thunder. Yeah, Thanos definitely ruined that happy, uplifting moment. He did. And other bad MCU movies. Yeah, we're getting there. Alright, just catch up my comments. The only good version of Executioner, really well done. Oh, you liked it, Bodhi. Okay. Yeah, Bodhi, you made it just in time. We're getting to Love and Thunder. I know you wanted us to talk about this one. Hela, you can't defeat me. I know, but he can. And that's when Surtur summons. Yeah,
God.
really cool scene. Surtur looks really awesome.
I
Wolf.
mean, yeah, it's a giant flame giant.
Finally got a live-action Pyron.
Yeah. Kind of hard to go wrong with him.
Doesn't Fenrir kill Odin in the myth?
I believe so. But
Didn't
yeah,
happen here.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences between actual Ragnarok and comic Ragnarok here.
Meek went back to his ugly
to
self
come.
in the MCU. Poor guy. Yeah, he didn't really do anything. Dark World's boring. Yeah, we actually didn't think it was that bad,
It
though.
was fun.
And we never knew this until She-Hulk. Yeah, we thought Love and Thunder was the worst one. Okay, looks like I'm caught up on comments. Okay, so final thoughts on Ragnarok. It is good. It is fun. It's entertaining. Honestly, the best Thor movie in the saga, and I still think that to this very day.
Yeah, if this and Guardians of the Galaxy unfortunately set a tonal change for the rest of the series that
Right.
hasn't course corrected.
They would try to copy the magic of this and Guardians of the Galaxy
and beat it into the ground.
yeah, it gotten so much worse. This is the one that started it all, and thankfully it's one of the few good ones.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Unfortunately, we can't say the same about the next one. Let's do it, Wolf.
Yep, Taika Waititi's Thor,
Or Love and Thunder. Oh,
Where
boy.
we get to use more 80s music for the trailer, because
Right.
that's what everyone loves.
Taika Waititi wanted to copy Guardians of the Galaxy, so there's
Honestly,
a
yeah.
lot of 80s tracks. Okay, so, first Thor movie after the end of the Infinity Saga. Thor departs with the Guardians of the Galaxy to find himself on fun adventures.
God.
Only to abruptly cut that plot thread in the first act. Yeah, apparently things are not working out between the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor, which is a shame because people would have loved to see a movie with the two of them crossing over.
Yeah.
But no, Thor, once again, has gotten kind of arrogant as trying to find himself. He got in shape after he was Fat Thor.
That's
Remember
right.
that, Wolf?
I remember.
He does that really cringe splits where he blocks two speeder bikes from crashing. That was really weird and stupid. But yeah, Thor kind of gotten arrogant, egotistical, and has not really found satisfaction with anything. He's still disappointed. He hasn't found his purpose in life, and he decides to leave the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, and Rocket also fixes Thor's eye. He, like, lost an eye in the Infinity Saga, or, no, Hela, like, scratches it out at the climax. And he was supposed to look like Odin and become the new king of Asgard. No, Taika decided, fart that, he's changing everything. Rocket fixes his eye so he can see Chris Hemsworth's entire face again, and Thor did not become king like Ragnarok promised. Instead, he handed it over to King Valkyrie.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember King Valkyrie. We're breaking those gender norms, even though there's no point in calling her king because she just acts like a queen anyway.
That's right. New Asgard is like somewhere on Earth.
They're like a settlement. They're on Earth in New Zealand because that's Taika's home country. They like built like a new Asgard there, and
it should have been like in Sweden or something.
Right, and it should have been there, like in Europe, Sweden, in Norse areas.
Countries.
No, they're like in New Zealand, and they made Asgard kind of a town/theme park where Valkyrie has built their economy by whoring themselves out to tourists. We see the return of the stage play where we recap Ragnarok. Rest in peace, Sam Neill. He plays Odin in the flashback.
Aww.
Like, oh no, I am dead. It's like a goofy recap, and Melissa McCarthy cameos as Hela.
Yeah.
God, hated that moment, and it dragged on longer than the first one. But we get the return of Jane? Jane comes back. Jane Foster's back, and she's hilariously dying of cancer. Yeah, it's so weird. She's like cracking jokes while she's getting dialysis done on her.
I mean, to be fair, laughter can be a coping mechanism.
Right, they try to make Natalie Portman look ugly to questionable degrees, but Jane is dying, only to suddenly get her cancer cured when Mjolnir comes to her. She goes to like New Asgard to try and see if Thor's there. We see the remains of the Mjolnir hammer, and Taika retcons its destruction by having it rebuild itself. Yeah. So there's a flashback that reveals that apparently Thor asked Mjolnir to keep watch over Jane while he was off in Infinity War or something, and the hammer sensed her nearby and rebuilt itself and connects with her, because Thor now has the Stormbreaker at this point, and Mjolnir decides that Jane is worthy of being the new Thor, becoming female Thor.
Yeah.
It's very clunky and very rushed, and yeah, just an excuse to have Natalie Portman as a superhero.
Yep, and she can't even wield it.
Okay, so
it's too heavy.
Right.
Never forget that Comic-Con moment.
Right. We were gonna get Lady Thor, it was all hyped up.
Right.
And Natalie Portman didn't even get in shape. She just had CGI muscles on her. Okay, so, believe it or not, Wolf, the beginning of this movie actually tricks you into thinking it's gonna be a good movie when we get our villain origin.
I love how you say it tricks you into
thinking this is gonna be a good movie.
Yeah, what the heck?
That's honestly how it felt. We get the intro to the villain in this movie, Gore the God Butcher, played by Batman himself, Christian Bale. So, it's actually pretty good, very serious and intense. Gore is actually an alien who lost his entire people. They were killed, they prayed to their god to protect them, and he didn't. Gore goes on a journey. He's one of the last few people left after this devastating war. All their villagers are dead. Basically, two races killed each other in this fight. It's just him and his daughter dies crossing the desert with him. He loses pretty much everything, but he holds out hope, hoping their god can save this. He makes it like an enchanted forest, where he meets with their god, this fat douche bro Moctezuma looking guy, asks him, please God, my people died, we need your help, and the god is pretty much a complete dick. He tells him, oh, I don't care, you're just like a worthless peon, your entire life revolves around worshipping us, worshipping the gods. There is no eternal reward for all your loyalty.
That makes me think of Rick and Morty with the robot.
Right.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, join the club, buddy. Basically tells him there is no eternal reward. He doesn't owe him anything. You were built basically to worship me and my might. The god is like having like this party with like weird plant people. Gore feels betrayed, completely disowns his god. The god is bragging that, oh, we're actually celebrating because we did get victory even at the cost of your people. He points to like a dead knight who has a cursed blade, the Necro Sword, which is the only weapon that can kill gods, and the Necro Sword feels Gore's pain and betrayal and feasts off of that, where the blade chooses him. The god is pissed off at Gore, tries choking him out for disowning him, and Gore summons the Necroblade and kills him, really horribly, but it's okay, he bleeds gold, so you can't traumatize the children.
What a dumb name for a weapon as well.
The Necroblade.
It's so basic.
Right. Basically, Gore kills a god, and he believes that this has given him new purpose to kill all gods, because his god failed him. The gods don't care about anyone but themselves. The sword convinces him to basically embrace this as his destiny. You have the Necro Sword, you're now cursed. Funny. I don't feel cursed. And he, like, gets his, like, Uncle Fester makeup on, looking like this pale white warrior. It's so weird. And sadly, Christian Bale is the only actor who's good in this. He plays it so dead seriously. He is complex, very sympathetic, actually works as a tragic villain, and is very scary. He has completely lost hope and believes that he's going to kill all gods for this nihilistic dream of a world without entities, where people make their own destinies. He believes that all the gods are terrible. And he completely beheads Moctezuma here, but it's okay, he bleeds gold so it won't traumatize anyone. And Gore basically tries to murder every god in his way. He's coming after all the deities, including the Greek gods, because Russell Crowe's Zeus is here. Thor fights with Gore for the first time, and Gore, like, succeeds at dispatching him, just abducting, like, all their children, because he wants to murder the next generation of gods.
Jeez.
We get the weird scene of Heimdall's son and that stupid CGI face he makes. You remember this, Wolf? Where he, like, sends a message to Thor begging for help, and it's like this weird CGI fart cloud with his face. The special effects have gotten so much worse in this movie. Everything looks fake. Even Thor and Jane's armor kind of looks plasticky in this. It's so weird. Thor movies, the king of MCU retcons. That's why I see Gore as the Marvel version of Kratos. Yeah, I remember people said that. Zeus, and I'm Javert. Hey, Cat and Wolf, how are you both doing today? Hey, Saga, we're doing pretty good.
Oh, I think I found it.
You found it. Yeah, that's it.
God, that does look awful.
That's so terrible. The effects look worse. Gore has basically gone on a killing spree, murdering gods. Thor is almost killed by Gore, but he ends up saved by female Thor. Get used to that. Female Thor basically emasculates them all movie. Saving him, doing the smart thing. They finally meet with King Valkyrie and decide they have to do something to stop him. So Thor tries to make an alliance with the gods by going to his hero Zeus. They, like, break into Mount Olympus. Honestly, the sets don't look too bad. Unfortunately...
Are you sure they're sets? Are you sure they aren't CGI?
Yeah, they probably are. And basically, it's another road trip movie, but with a more annoying team. Thor teams up with King Valkyrie, who's a snarky bitch. He teams up with Lady Thor, Jane, who's a cringe bitch. And he teams up with Taika Waititi's Korg, who comes back and gets more screen time.
Yep, of course.
This movie also has them using their ride, the Screaming Goats.
Oh, God.
That's
because Odin has, like, 2 goats that carry his chariot.
And Taika does this Screaming Goats gag, like, 50 times throughout the movie. It is so annoying, and it wasn't funny the first time.
God, it was funny back in early 2000s.
Remember those, the Screaming Goat memes?
Right, the noise it would make is like, yeah, that's what they do.
He's doing this, like, 15 years later after they lost relevance. And the goats are not funny. They're always screaming and always annoying. They basically travel across the stars trying to recruit gods. They go to Zeus, played by Wolf's favorite actor, Russell Crowe, who's a fat douche bro, dirty old man.
And I'm sure.
Basically, Zeus has the only other ultimate weapon that can fight the Necro Sword, the Thunderbolt. It's basically this neon light electric bolt. It looks so fake, but yeah, basically it's kind of this toy sword which can have the power of lightning in the palm of your hands and strike anyone down. We get that scene where he flicks Thor naked because we needed the female audience to watch this.
And again, emasculate him.
That's all they do in this movie. Thor's, like, always losing, getting emasculated, being the butt of every joke. Honestly, it makes me hate Thor now. He sucks so much, but yeah.
It sucks so much that Chris Hemsworth said he doesn't want to come back until they write Thor good.
Right, he said that himself. But yeah, basically they strip Thor down, make fun of him. Zeus gives him back his clothes, but basically tells him Gore is coming for them all, they need to team up, and Zeus is a complete coward. He's like, I don't want to fight. I'm afraid of Gore. He makes me crap my man skirts. Yeah, basically Zeus is chickening out. All the gods are hiding on Olympus. They're just gonna let Gore do whatever he wants. Even though he plans to murder every god in existence.
What's Mount Olympus gonna do to him?
Right, basically the gods are all complete wusses. They're backing out of this fight. Thor decides to agree with Valkyrie's plan to just steal the Thunderbolt, where they fight Zeus and his guards, and hopefully, I was hoping characters would die here. Thor fights the guards, and Zeus strikes down Taika Waititi. Korg dies, but not really. He's just like a severed head.
There's lightning against rock as well.
Right, we're led to believe he died, but no, hilariously, we find out he's alive, and Taika Waititi's now a tiny talking head. To be so annoying.
Just attach him to a Roomba, and he'll be good to go.
Right, they like tie him to the back, kind of like C-3PO when he was broken.
Right.
And Thor kills Zeus, but we find out this didn't kill him. He like throws the Thunderbolt through him, and he falls off a 50-story balcony somehow.
Look, if mortal man can survive falling off a volcano, I think a god can survive that fall.
Right, he falls, we're led to believe he's dead, but we see in a post-credit scene, no, he's not, just like hilariously cartoon bruised up. But Thor jacks the Thunderbolt, decides he's gonna fight Gore himself. They fight Gore, and it turns out we learn his true master plan. It is very clunky and weird, but get this, Wolf. Gore needs the Stormbreaker to hijack the Bifrost to take him to a mystical plane to meet with an Eternal that can grant you one wish.
How the hell does he know this information?
It's so weird, but yeah, apparently got it from killing the gods and studying up on them or something.
Also, how does he know about Stormbreaker, and how does Stormbreaker tie into the Bifrost when it was a weapon made out of like a different thing?
Right, it's very clunky and very messy storytelling. He tortures Thor, Valkyrie, and Lady Thor. He breaks them, leading to their all is lost moment, and he gets his hands on the Stormbreaker axe. Everybody's sad and questioning themselves. Lady J decides she doesn't want to be Lady Thor anymore, so she gives up Mjolnir to her friend and is back to dying of cancer. She goes back to the hospital. It turns out Mjolnir was keeping her alive, and through really trippy BS logic, Mjolnir is also slowly speeding up the cancer in Jane.
That is weird.
She needs it to pause the cancer, but every time she lets go of it, it speeds up the cancer back to poisoning her body. I guess making up for lost time or something.
So, if anything, I guess it's just, like, putting it on pause, but then because of that, it's more like a dam, so once it's gone, everything just comes back at once.
Right.
Maybe that's how it works.
Wait, if Gore has a Necro Sword, then how come Noel has it in Venom The Last Dance? Multiverse. If Eternals was a boring slap in the face and Love and Thunder is a kick to the goosh with a heavy boot, because this was the point where the MCU CGI and quality dip was noticeable.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. Even the trailers look bad for this. Yeah, basically, like, Lady Thor is dying again. She gives up being a superhero, just accepts her fate. All is lost moment. I will say there's like this one scene that did make me laugh is where Gore is trying to keep the children he's holding hostage entertained, and he tells this really horrifying story where he's like playing with like a baby dragon and he rips its head off in front of all these like preschoolers.
Jeez.
Oh, Humpty didn't want to lose its head, but you know why he lost it? Because the gods didn't answer his prayers or pain.
God.
This taught me, children, the lesson that the gods don't care about anyone but themselves. Like Christian Bale's like in this crackhead kind of voice.
Jeez.
It's so weird and random. The children actors are also really terrible. I do have to address the children, Wolf, because this has a plot point in the climax for later. But
what, do they beat him fucking Grievous style?
I'll get to it. Yeah, he's keeping the children alive because Gore realized he can actually save his efforts and kill them all in one fatal swoop. He wants to find the mystical Eternal to make his wish to wish for a world without gods, and that's how he plans to kill every deity ever. He steals the Stormbreaker successfully. Thor and Valkyrie have a heart-to-heart, which is very shallow and meaningless, but she gives him the Thunderbolt, Zeus's weapon, to go fight Gore and save the day. Valkyrie is pussing out and protecting her people. Yeah, she's like says, I'd help you, but I'm afraid I'll die. That's actually what she says, Wolf. That's not me paraphrasing it. Valkyrie was so useless in this movie. She was only here because Tessa Thompson was banging Taika Waititi. That's what.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Did not know those two were together.
Yeah, it made like social media trends. Taika and Tessa were sharing champagne and talked about how they had sex a lot while making this movie.
Oh, God.
So cringe. But yeah, basically that's the only reason why Valkyrie's in this movie. She doesn't do jack. She's the new queen/king of Asgard.
New ruler.
Yeah, she's there to basically tell you about the plot threads.
Okay.
She leaves, Thor goes to fight Gore on his own, but Lady Thor... Lady J. I'm sorry. Lady Thor gets her groove back, realizes that she's still in love with Thor. Basically, they had a will they, won't they. She's still butthurt about breaking up with him. She realizes that Thor is her one true love. Mjolnir comes to her, and we get a double team fight where Lady Thor does most of the work fighting Gore. They fight, and remember when I talked about the children, Wolf? Yeah. Well, they have a final battle with Gore. Gore summons a bunch of Lovecraftian monsters to fight them. It's
alright, cool.
Out of nowhere. Thor transfers his power to the children to make them all thunder gods. And we have kids beating up Shadow Realm monsters.
God.
It's so dumb, so fake looking, and all the kids are bad actors. They are. They're worse than Justin from Power Rangers Turbo. They're all like flat, they're all emotionless, and some are goofy and over the top. All the kids are like shooting lightning at them. A little girl has like teddy bear shooting lightning bolts at Cthulhu. It's so cringe. It's so dumb. Nobody in my theater laughed.
My soul is leaving my body just hearing about this.
Right, it's so bad. They fight Gore, and of course, Lady Thor is the badass one. Thor is losing. Lady Thor comes in, and Mjolnir completely destroys the Necro Sword.
Cool.
Yeah, she destroys it, but haha, you're too late. Gore
Yeah.
succeeded at opening up the portal where he goes to the Eternals land to make his one wish. They have a fight there, but unfortunately, she loses Mjolnir in the fight somehow, and she's back to dying of her cancer.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Jane is like dying in like this water field. They're like walking on water. Gore is talking to this Eternal, ready to make his wish, but Thor confronts him and says, "No, Gore, you don't want this. What is it that I want? You want love. 'Cause love is the one thing every being feels and can't be taken away from you." And right the hell out of nowhere, it turns out Gore's not really evil. He just
wants his daughter
family.
back?
Yeah, he makes his wish, and he wishes for his daughter to come back to life. And this apparently kills Gore because it's a life for life. Honestly, I would have wished for my entire species back, since that was like the whole thing set up at the start. But Gore wishes for his daughter to come back, and yeah, the Eternal releases her out of like this weird Alien X looking void, and we see Gore's daughter say goodbye to her father for the last time. Well, Thor spends his last moments with Jane, telling her that he loves her, that they were meant to be, and wish he had more time with her. They make a promise to Gore that because Gore has nobody to take care of his daughter now, she's back at like a little girl age, and Thor promises he'll take care of the daughter, revealing this is how we're doing Jane and Thor's child. Gore's daughter is adopted by Thor.
God.
Yes, they're doing that character to set her up for the Young Avengers, and guess what, Wolf? The little girl, Gore's daughter, is actually played by Chris Hemsworth's real-life daughter.
Okay, that's sweet, I
Pulling
guess.
some nepotism. Unfortunately, she's not a good actress, so
Not
yeah,
yet,
kind of
maybe.
ruins the scene. Gore ends up dying, sacrificing his soul to save his one daughter because he always loved her. He just wanted her to come back, and he lets go of his hatred of the gods. saving everything, and honestly, it feels so emotionless. I really hate it. But yeah, Lady Thor does die. She succumbs to her cancer, tells Thor she always loved him, and Thor adopts a little girl because she'll be like the family they could have had together. And everything's resolved. Gore is dead. The gods no longer have to live in fear. The day is saved. Thor adopts Gore's daughter, basically raising her as his own. Lady Thor is put at rest, treated as a hero, and Thor finally returns to Asgard, deciding that he wants to be a good single father for his new kid, realizing that love is more important than war and finding yourself. And we actually get like a really goofy scene of him raising Gore's daughter and training her to be a warrior, where they go fight evil frost giants together. And guess what the end credits song is, Wolf?
What?
Whoa, 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 sweet child of mine. Yeah, they play Guns N' Roses, and everybody gives Taika Waititi a middle finger for making us hate Guns N' Roses. We get 2 post-credit scenes. One is honestly kind of pointless. We see, because Lady Thor, Jane Foster, died in the world of Asgard, she goes to Valhalla. We see Jane Foster going to Asgardian heaven, where she meets Heimdall, because Heimdall died in Infinity War.
Right, yeah, and he's also a good warrior.
Right, and this was supposed to be kind of a happy ending for Jane Foster's character, but honestly I stopped caring about her by the time of movie 3. But yeah, Jane Foster got her eternal reward and a hero send-off, and then we get a second one where we see Zeus is alive, and he wants his son Hercules to avenge his defeat. And meaning we're gonna get Thor 5, Thor versus Hercules. That's actually the setup for the next movie.
I mean, presumably.
Right.
Presumably they don't just drop that plot within the first couple minutes.
Especially since Taika might not be working for Marvel anymore. This movie sucks. Going on Puny God, we made it, Wolf, to the worst one. Yeah. This one is garbage. The CGI sucks. The plot's a mess. They ruin a lot of serious scenes by undercutting them with jokes and goofy-ass humor. Christian Bale is the only good character in it because he's actually trying, but even he can't save this dog shit movie. It's a total mess, totally confused, and really in the grand scheme of things means nothing because we're not doing Kang the Conqueror's arc anymore, so some of the multiverse stuff doesn't factor into anything now.
Also, we don't even have Lady Thor as a new hero.
Right, Lady Thor dies in this movie. They like set her up like she was gonna become the new replacement Thor. No, Taika wanted to subvert expectations, so they killed her off, and did anyone care about Jane Foster getting a proper ending? Really, Wolf, did you ever think that? Right? I wanted Natalie Portman to get a proper ending in this. Let's see what people had to say about it. Tell that to No Way Home. Venom is on an alternate Earth. Multiverse. The MCU, Gore only killed 2 gods on screen, but the comic, he killed way more gods. Yeah, that'll happen in your movies. Taika was not interested in the gore stuff. He was more interested in doing the goofy road trip humor. James, they brought Venom back into the MCU. Thor movies, the king of MCU retcons. Read that one. As I see, read that one. Hey, Cat and Wolf, how are you doing? We're doing okay. Now, this would be impactful if the writing was better, but it's not. No, it's not. Jane and Thor sounds like a terrible romance. It is, Shadow, it is. They focus way too much on the romance, and at this point, nobody cared. People were ready to let go of Jane Foster.
Right.
They, like, broke up by movie 3. What is this Last Jedi writing crap?
Exactly.
Taika Waititi's Last Jedi. Okay, so I wanted to bring this up, Wolf. Honestly, I actually think the Thor movies are kind of like the Tim Burton Schumacher Batman movies. You have the first one, which people liked, the second one, which people were mixed on, the third one, which was much more goofier but ended up saving the saga, was actually good, and then the fourth one was a stupid juvenile comedy that ruined the franchise.
Okay.
With Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. Yeah. Thor kind of underwent the same thing here.
Okay.
Thor is safe from children because this is dumb and not even a fun and cool way. It's just what kind of mushrooms were they on when making this? Also, it feels like Power Rangers Turbo all over again. Yep, it does. And Hercules will not return. Christ, Bale doing his Batman voice is more scarier than story time with Gore, because that wasn't even scary at all. It's just stupid. MCU Hercules is played by Brett Goldstein, best known for his role as Roy Kent in Ted Lasso.
Don't know what that is, but I feel like I've heard the name at least.
Thor, Junk, and Blunder. Yeah. Love and Thunder Crapper. Yes, because if there's one movie we want references, the boring, dull Eternals. Yeah. Yeah, man, having the Celestials take part in the MCU was a huge mistake.
Well, the way they did it, yeah.
Right. MCU's Zeus is a jerk and can't help, and Record of Ragnarok Zeus is an old man with steroids who's also a jerk.
God, yeah, that Record of Ragnarok Zeus is insane. I
get why they touched on Gore, because he's a real threat in the comics, but the title of the movie is Love and Thunder. One particular Thor villain should have came to mind. I talk about Amora, the Enchantress, because she's a love goddess. Oh, I forgot to mention, Wolf, at the end when we see Thor and Gore's daughter fighting an army together, Korg said they became legends, known as Love and Thunder.
Oh my gosh. Shoot me now.
Screaming goats because it was so funny 15 years ago.
I think listening to your recap honestly has drained all the life from me.
I'm sorry, Wolf.
I know it had to be done, but oh my gosh, does this sound like awful.
It is garbage, man.
God.
This is one of the worst MCU movies ever. It's like, yes, I would gladly take 50 rewatches of The Dark World over this. The only highlight is Christian Bale. They even ruined your favorite actor, Russell Crowe.
I mean, to be fair, he's kind of done that himself with Les Miserables.
Right,
that was kind of a laughing stock, even though he may not have been the worst.
This would have been impactful if the writing was better. It would have been.
I mean, you can say that about every film.
I know. Sorry, Wolf, just catching up on comments.
I know.
Giving you some recharge time.
God.
Christian Bale's back must hurt from lifting this entire movie. What happened? This is like one of the worst of the MCU now. Like, I want to ask people in the chat, what's worse, Love and Thunder or The Marvels?
Oh my gosh. I think they'll say The Marvels, honestly.
They both have kind of the same issues.
Yeah. Well, the other problem is no one cares about Captain Marvel.
Right. Black girl magic.
I forgot that was a line.
Love and Thunder at least had Christian Bale. He had some good moments. The action is a step down. It is a lot more comedy. Them running away from people, chase scenes on the screaming goats. This movie sucks. It is garbage. You know it. We know it. The internet knows it. It has been mean to death. It is one of the worst MCU movies. No, one of the worst superhero movies ever made. It is rock bottom bad on puny God. Anything mad, Wolf?
Nope. Oh, no, I'm choking to death.
Need some water?
Oh, God, man.
I'm alright. Okay, Saga. What was Gore's motive? Why did he want to kill gods or kidnap God's children or save his daughter? Like, was this made by a spinning wheel? Oh, fun fact, I hope Wolf can hear me while he's in the kitchen. Taika Waititi said, this movie was what if we had a superhero film written by 7-year-olds? And that absolutely shows. Apparently he was proud of that remark. He wanted to make a family comedy for kids, and it was very clear he did not care making this. July 12th was the 27th anniversary of Muppets from Space. Good movie. I'll have to rewatch it then. Like, what are evil fathers making the one wish? I guess because it has high suspense. Here, I just wish it was better written. Also, Thor's daughter is Torun, Thor's daughter. That's her last name. It was one of my favorite Muppet movies. Yeah, next to Muppet Treasure Island. Better than Kermit Swamp Years, as it never happened. Why is Guns N' Roses in the movie? Because Taika Waititi was trying to be cool. That's the only reason why. It worked in Guardians because Guardians has epic 80s music, and Taika has been trying to copy James Gunn in these Thor films, let's be real. Because they make a reference to it in the movie with the kid, Axel, and his CGI face. Thor's adopted daughter, who is supposed to be a member of the Young Avengers, and Hercules wanting to fight Thor in Thor 5 will never happen because Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, I heard Chris Hemsworth might be hoping to be killed off in the Avengers movie.
It's okay, because Dr. Doom will have a rivalry not with Reed Richards, but with Captain America.
But not with Kevin Sorbo, lol. That's Hercules from the Xena show.
Ah.
Isn't the MCU soft rebooting after Secret Wars? You would think, but
Right.
they've kind of gone back and forth on it.
Surely Doomsday will do that.
How would that work in Thor 5? Yeah, get a scene of Hercules showing up being vaporized by Doctor Doom. Yeah, Loki's not in the tier list. We're counting Thor movies, and Loki doesn't even count. It's just an advertisement for the Kang Dynasty, which isn't happening anymore because Jonathan Majors is facing domestic abuse allegations.
Yep.
It would have been better if they remade the next Avengers characters from the animated movie into live action, but I doubt it would have been good with how the writing has been going. Yeah, Marvel writers are definitely in a bad place. Well, if it was Padme from episode 3, yes. Jane from Love and Thunder, no. Yeah, I didn't feel anything. In the comics, Jane Foster actually replaced Thor. Yeah, she becomes the mighty Thor.
Right.
Thor for a while, but this movie, nah, she's gone. Like, what was even the point of making her Thor?
It was just a touch up on that aspect of her character, I think.
Right, and the designs were ugly. Yeah, they were. You saw, like, ads of this wolf. The armor looks so fake and plasticky.
Yeah.
They were definitely...
I mean, that's just Hollywood in a nutshell now.
Why make Gore the main villain? Because God Butcher sounds like a badass villain. Yeah, remember when Harry Styles joined the MCU as an Eternal?
God.
I try to forget that movie.
They only had, what, 10 main characters?
Yeah, and all of them were from every race across Earth.
Right, and they were all also tied to, like, different mythologies and
Right.
stuff. I know there was Gilgamesh as one of them.
And I remember they faked everyone out because we thought Angelina Jolie was going to be the main character. No, it's this no-named Asian girl. She's the true hero of the story.
God.
Roll credits. I didn't realize the first Batman movie and MCU Thor movies were so similar until now. First movie great, second divided, third more comedic, but the bad fourth one was a disaster of unfunny jokes and writing. Yeah, that's kind of the parallel I saw between them. Jane and Thor could have been good if we had more time with them in other movies, but not just, oh yeah, Jane Foster exists, throw a dart to, whoever she is.
Honestly, yeah.
Love and Thunder. It sucks. The Marvels, also terrible. Now that's a trick question. Okay, people are answering me.
Oh,
Some
good.
people say Love and Thunder is worse. One person
Really?
did say
Wow.
The Marvels.
Okay.
I guess because Thor actually had a decent track record until now.
Yeah.
That's a trick question. I don't know. I haven't seen either. Well,
Fair enough.
hopefully this will help. Love and Thunder, because the movie did Thor dirty, at least with the Marvels. No one cares about Captain Marvel. But Thor, they did him dirty. Yeah,
but
Thor was
Monica
likable.
Rambeau's in the X-Men universe now.
Especially when you remember, Wolf, this is coming like right after the Infinity War saga where Thor was
God,
like a badass Giga Chad.
That's right.
Yeah, like in a Thor animated series. Yeah, I'm really not excited for Doomsday. Nobody is. I wasn't excited to see Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic. Like, this was the same, like even Gabriel Grass does the same thing, kind of in the Miraculous finale.
That kinda. He
Go-
erases himself with a wish.
Both Gore and Gabriel fought over a cosmic wish.
Yep.
I think that he only said the movie was meant to feel like it was written by children because it was so awful. Didn't want to admit that he failed at making a good movie. Yeah. It's kind of sad because Taika Waititi also made Jojo Rabbit and Free Guy around the same time. So it makes
I know people liked Free Guy. I wasn't sure what the response to Jojo Rabbit
yeah,
was.
some people thought it was controversial because Nazis are in it.
Right, and also Hitler.
Yeah,
where
believe
it's
it or-
like the kid's best friend, but it's like a purely imaginary thing.
Right. He like grew up in the Hitler youth camp and he's kind of getting his eyes opened.
Yeah.
And it kind of tells me, oh, Taika can make good movies, but he doesn't care about making a good Thor movie. The One Direction guy. Okay, 2 animated movies next. Which version of Thor is better there? The Marvels had a forgettable villain. Yeah, I forgot who it was. It's like some girl Kree alien or something.
Yeah.
Like it's an all-women cast, so basically. Plus Samuel L. Jackson,
Of
but he was
course.
cucked. Gotta go, guys. I have things to do. By the way, if you are in the mood for a Deadpool tier list, call me. Will do. Free Guy has Ryan Reynolds in it.
Yeah.
Right, we know that.
He's the NPC that comes alive.
Okay, so to wrap up, Love and Thunder, it sucks. Moving on. Next is Thor Tales of Asgard. We're now in the animated movies, and honestly, Wolf, I thought this one was really good. This is another origin story for Thor, but it's Thor when he was a teenager.
Okay.
This one is basically a sort of prequel to the Earth's Mightiest Heroes Thor. Both these movies are allegedly tied to that continuity because Christopher Yost wrote on both of them, and he kind of teased that in like tweets that they're connected. Basically, we see teenage Thor. It's his hero origin. Thor is the best warrior in Asgard at such a young age, but not really. It turns out Odin has been telling soldiers to go easy on Thor, make him look like a badass, make him feel like he's this cool, epic warrior, basically babying and coddling Thor to build up his confidence. It turns out Thor hasn't actually accomplished a single magnificent feat in his entire life. Thor seems to win at a lot of gladiator games, fights like a lot of tough guys, but they're actually going easy on him. Sorry, I need a bit of water.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense given he's Odin's kid.
Basically, the kingdom is glazing him up, hyping him, making Thor look like this ultimate epic god badass. But he's anything but. Lady Sif is in this, played by your favorite actress, Tara Strong.
Oh, they're gonna say it's Christina V.
No, Tara Strong.
Okay.
Lady Sif's in this, and she basically tells Thor how it is. He's a total fraud. He hasn't actually done anything badass in his life.
Damn.
He fights with Lady Sif over this and completely loses. He gets his ass handed to him. Lady Sif knocks some sense into him. Thor is very upset, butthurt, confronts his dad, and Odin is kind of a dick in this scene, telling him that, yeah, I faked the whole thing. I wanted to build up your confidence to make you feel like you could do anything. But now I see that was a mistake, so you're totally grounded.
Yeah, that is a mistake because you're not building up his confidence, you're feeding him delusions.
Yeah, basically he treats Thor like a child. He doesn't see Thor as a man, and this leads to the plot. Thor wants to go on his own epic quest to prove his manhood, accomplish something great to show that he is the ultimate badass. He finds out there's a hidden sword lost in Frost Giant territory called the Sword of Surtur. Yeah, they're hinting at Surtur. This sword was an epic blade that could kill anyone, has ultimate power, and it was lost forever. Thor wants to find it all by himself to prove that he's an epic god mode badass. He recruits the Warriors 3 and Loki. Loki is not a villain yet. He's kind of like this dorky, the shy kid, trying to practice magic, trying to prove himself. Loki starts out as kind of Thor's fanboy at first, idolizing his big brother, leading into the big dramatic twist of him starting to become more villainous as the movie goes on. Yeah, we're doing that. The hero and the villain used to be best friends type of story.
Yeah, well, also just going down to the Frost Giants is reminding me of the first Thor movie.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's basically Thor is going on a road trip with his buddies trying to prove himself. There's a subplot here and there where we meet like two other characters who factor into the story. There's another Dark Elf here, but the Dark Elves are living in Asgard, led by Allgrim. He was the second in command from Dark World. Okay. Here he gets more of a character story. He's one of Odin's loyal advisors, and he tells Thor where the Sword of Surtur is, basically helping him, trying to be like this cool adult figure to him. And Lady Sif gives up on men and decides to move in with the Valkyries to join their warrior covenant, and it's kind of funny. Yeah, she basically feels so disappointed by men thanks to Thor that she decides to live with the women.
Damn.
She like befriends Brunhilde, and basically she gives this lecture about how, all men do is cause war and suffering, which is why the women have to stick together by training to become warriors for war and battle.
It's also hilarious that she goes to Brunhilde, because that one is famous for falling in love with Siegfried and killing him.
Right. Yeah, at least now we get to go uphill in quality with these two, thank goodness. Yeah, ending on a positive note, thankfully. But yeah, she joins the Valkyries, and this does factor in later down the plot. Thor basically goes on a road trip with these guys and get into bar fights, fight Steve Bloom's Fenrir, get into wacky antics, slowly become friends. We see the three warriors do get more character. There's the fat guy who likes to eat a lot, the handsome, lovable rogue, and the badass Asian guy who's so serious, but he learns to lighten up. They become kind of friends on like their fellowship. Meanwhile, Loki's kind of becoming darker. We do get a cameo from Amora the Enchantress. She's Loki's magic teacher in here.
Oh, interesting.
Apparently magic is actually a rarity among Asgardians, and Ashley Ball voices Amora. It's so weird seeing her do
Rainbow Dash out of that.
Yeah, hearing sexy Rainbow Dash. It's okay, Loki. I trust you. I have faith in you. Loki's practicing his magic, learning new tricks. He's like learning to waterbend, basically. He almost kisses Amora, but then Amora starts simping for Thor when he walks
Grand.
in.
Just another reason for him to hate his brother.
Yeah, we see moments where the brothers are starting to slowly divide. Loki has different views on something, Thor has different views on something. They go from liking each other to slowly distrusting each other. Like, Thor is taking charge and kind of ignoring some of Loki's suggestions. Eventually they find the Sword of Surtur. However, there's a twist. It turns out the sword wasn't lost. It was sealed in a vault by the Frost Giants.
Right.
The Frost Giants have confiscated this and made a deal with Asgard to watch over it because it's too dangerous for anyone to use. Thor breaks into this vault thinking the Frost Giants are evil, and he steals the Sword of Surtur. It's really cool. Like, starts out as like this big, monumentally huge blade. Then, when you touch it, it shrinks down to a blade of your size.
Oh, interesting. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Right? Yeah.
Already you can see the problem with that if it's huge.
Right, and there's a reason why it was sealed away. A part of Surtur's soul is in the
course,
sword, and
yeah.
it corrupts the wielder. All of your worst impulses, your sins, and negative traits start to consume you. Thor takes the sword and uses its magnificent power, and for the first time, Thor kills in blind rage. He kills two Frost Giants trying to stop him, slices one and sends one falling into the abyss, and Thor realizes this isn't him. It's not what he wants. He realizes the sword is evil. It's corrupting him. Thor still decides to try and take it, believing that they'll use it for good in Asgard. The Frost Giants consider this an act of war, and of course, fight Asgard.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Frost Giant King confronts Odin. He talks to him saying, "Oh, this is just my son. Don't worry, he's not going to use it for evil." But the Frost Giants don't believe him. Meanwhile, we find out that there's something more going on with Algrim the Dark Elf. Thor and his friends make it there, and Algrim touches the sword, and Surtur reveals to him a harsh truth. The Dark Elves were sacrificed in a war against Surtur. Surtur offered them all a chance that he would spare all their species if they surrendered to him, become a part of his army.
Right.
Odin and the Frost Giants and even the Dark Elves didn't want that, and unfortunately, Odin and the Frost Giant leader decided to use the Dark Elves as cannon fodder, sacrificing them in this war, and the Dark Elves became an endangered species. Algrim sees Odin as a complete monster, and when he gets the sword, it brings all his worst impulses to the forefront, revealing he was the twist villain. He carries on Surtur's will for him. He, takes up the blade, becomes an evil dark elf, and believes Odin is a traitor, and he's going to exterminate them all in the name of his people. Odin fights him, he gets horribly wounded, burned by Surtur's sword. However, Thor and Loki show up to save the day, and after their hero's journey, Thor kind of learns some more responsibility, starts to become a mature adult, making harsh decisions. Loki has kind of lost himself along this journey, given into his evil impulses. He believes they should use the sword to kill the Frost Giants and the Dark Elves.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Loki's kind of becoming the bad guy at this point. They have a big epic fight scene. Of course, Thor finally masters his skill and defeats him. Even though he had the stronger blade, Thor believed in himself and remembered his fighting skills, finally besting the Dark Elf. Algrim is depowered, arrested, but Thor decides to spare him because he wants things to change, and in order to do that, we must move forward. But Loki uses the Dark Blade to kill him. He vaporizes Algrim to a crisp.
Jeez.
Yeah, Loki gives into evil, and it's implied he's finally starting his villain origin here. Algrim is completely vaporized. Thor has his moment where he returns the sword to the Frost Giants, pleading with them not to invade Asgard. And the Frost Giant King actually respects Thor, agrees to it, and they return to stealing the sword, apologizing for this war, and actually complimenting Thor on his leadership skills. Thor finally becomes a man here, finally makes a hard choice and a decision a king would make. They take the sword back and seal it back into the ice catacombs where nobody can get it, and Thor confronts his family. He tries to talk to Loki. Loki's going down a dark path. He's become kind of an emo kid now. He doesn't believe in good anymore. And Thor finally makes amends with his dad. His dad, Odin, apologizes for being a dickhead, says that, Thor, you did prove yourself today. I guess you are growing up after all. You are a true worthy king. And Thor finally gets his respect, where we end on basically Thor and the Warriors 3 trying to tell their story to a bunch of civilians and each have their own different take on it. Wacky comedy ending. Hinting that this is the beginning of Thor's epic adventures.
God, I could see both Thor and Dark World's influence mirroring in this.
Right. Honestly, this movie is really good. I might put it onto A tier.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very short movie. Very simple and straightforward to the point. But yeah, it's like an hour or 10 minutes.
Okay.
One of those kind of movies like DC and Scooby-Doo are.
Yeah.
Could have used a bit more, but I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
It's definitely fun, entertaining. The animation took some getting used to because it looked kind of like cutesy characters, which is jarring because there's a lot of blood, death, and sexual innuendo jokes in this. The movie kind of had trouble deciding who its audience was. Also, Church Deacon, he's listing off some roles here.
Okay.
Yeah, alright, got that one. I thought I imagined this movie. Nope, you did not, Bat Kid. Bye. Bye. Yeah, Matthew Wolfe played Thor. I don't know who that name is. Okay. I know it got some Canadian actors and some American voice actors.
If it has Ashley Baldwin, yeah, it definitely reached Canada.
Right. Oh, I forgot to mention, Lady Sif also gets her redemption arc. Thor, at one point, comes to her because he needs her help trying to get rid of the sword, and Lady Sif gets her hope in men revived thanks to Thor and his heroics.
Oh, good. She's saved from being a lesbian.
Right. Maybe I was wrong about you, Thor. Maybe I was wrong about all men. Yeah, they come to the Valkyries because they need help getting the sword across the border.
Hashtag not all men.
Right. Yeah, Lady Sif falls in love with Thor by the end of this movie, and they hook up. Lady Sif and Thor have like a kiss in the battle scene.
Okay.
Which is funny because if this is related to Earth's Mightiest Heroes, he's gonna dump Lady Sif's ass for Jane Foster.
Incredible.
Rick Gomez voiced Loki. He was Zack Fair in Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep.
I do not remember Zack, unfortunately, from that one.
And a thug in a TMNT movie. That narrows it down. Chris Britton played Odin. Okay, he did. I honestly thought it was Clancy Brown.
What a last name.
Chris Britton. He played Thomas Edison on Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, God.
Remember the CW show?
Yeah. Yeah, where they go save Obama.
And he's Mr. Sinister on X-Men 97. Okay, still working then.
Okay.
Okay, here list some roles. I think this is its own canon or related to the Ultimate Avengers movie. That's what I kind of thought, but Christopher Yost teased that this was kind of sharing a universe. Alright, so I'll wrap this up, Wolf. I thought it was pretty good. It's a pretty nice movie. A story about a boy becoming a man. A story about how power corrupts people. How basically they tried to prove themselves only to test if they were actually a good or evil person. It's a pretty kick-ass sword and sorcery adventure. Highly recommend it, but I'll put it onto A tier. Because it's upstaged by one other movie, that's being our next one.
Really?
Yeah, let's end this on a positive note, Wolf.
Hulk versus
Thor. Yeah, the crossover you've been waiting for. Remember how they fought in Ragnarok? Well, here we built an entire movie around it.
Did it actually come after Ragnarok, or was it before?
It was before.
Okay.
It was, Christopher Yost said this one was also connected to Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is kind of funny because these two are best friends in the cartoon and try to kill each other here. Okay, so don't worry, Wolf. This one's actually a short film. It's roughly 45 to 50 minutes.
God, that is just a TV special.
Right. It's connected to Hulk versus the Wolverine, which was a bit longer. Basically, this is a Hulk movie, but he's fighting his two friends, Wolverine and Thor. Loki is trying to take over Asgard again this week with the Enchantress, and they plan to have Hulk assassinate Thor.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough.
Right, we see a lot of the Earth's Mightiest Hero cast kind of reprise their roles. Fred Tatty scores the Hulk again.
Oh, nice.
I believe, yes, Graham McTavish is also Loki again from the show, and Kari Wahlgren is Amora the Enchantress.
Interesting. Yeah,
I really liked her. Her Enchantress was really kick-ass, and yes, they made her like a sexy femme fatale here. Lady Sif is now played by Grey DeLisle this time.
Oh, good.
Haven't seen her in enough things.
her with another Western actor.
Another actress in a lot of stuff. Okay, so basically Bruce is kind of minding his life on the road, trying to get away from people since the Hulk's out of control. Loki and Amora abduct the Incredible Hulk and split Banner and the Hulk apart.
That's right.
So Loki can have his mind implanted inside the Hulk and control him.
Incredible.
Yeah, thanks to Amora's epic sorcery, this plan succeeds, and they release the Hulk on Asgard. And Hulk pretty much wrecks the entire Asgardian army. The Warriors 3 get beaten up, Lady Sif gets beaten up, and finally lead to what this film is hyping up, Hulk versus Thor. And Thor gets absolutely destroyed in this fight. It is like savage as hell.
Jeez.
Like, he fights Thor, beats him to death, and breaks his like hand so he can't use Mjolnir.
Oh,
really
God.
savage. Yeah, this one is definitely embracing its harder R rating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do find it funny when we hear Loki's voice coming out of the Hulk. Why are you doing this? To destroy you, of course, dear stepbrother. It was so weird hearing the Hulk with a British accent.
Honestly, yeah.
Sif used her Daphne Blake voice. She kind of uses her tough girl voice for this role. Grey DeLisle.
I didn't recall Grey DeLisle having one of those.
Yeah, Grey DeLisle has like the tough girl voice. It usually sounds like one of her Ben 10 voices.
Yeah, that
right.
sounds about right.
The Enchantress didn't think this through, did she? Nope, she did not. This is my first time watching a Thor movie. Maybe it's a prequel to Mightiest Heroes. It kind of is. I stopped watching Legends of Tomorrow after season 3. Yeah, me too. I stopped watching after The Legion of Dumb. I think it's its own I read that one. Like, imagine if you played as Morgan in Dead by Daylight. That would be pretty fun. I saw this when I was 7. Wait, since when are they stepbrothers? They've always kind of been stepbrothers. Here they're just kind of addressing it.
Okay.
Yeah, Loki uses Hulk to basically succeed at murdering Thor. Thor is killed, and get this, Wolf, kind of at pure random, Amora changes to the side of good because she doesn't want to lose her loved Thor.
I mean, that makes sense.
It's in character for her, but it's kind of funny. She wants Thor to die because he spurned her. Then, when Thor's dying, she's like, I want Thor to die. No, I don't want to lose Thor. I love him. Amora.
Classic women can't make up their mind.
Right. Kari Wahlgren is definitely so entertaining, but yeah.
God.
She's like evil, even grinning evilly, but then when Loki starts pounding on Thor, it changes to a sad face. Yeah, Thor actually dies in this movie. However, he's saved from the brink of death because Amora turns good and gives him the kiss of life, reviving him.
Alright. Sure, why not?
Yeah, Amora changes to the side of good, kisses him. Loki almost succeeds, except for one problem. Hulk is so overpowered that he breaks free of his mind control and goes on a rampage. Yeah, Loki loses control of the Incredible Hulk, and now Hulk is just smashing and killing everyone. Equal opportunity killing. Loki lost control of the Hulk and failed to conquer Asgard, where Thor and Amora attack Loki. However, they need to work together because Loki accidentally killed Bruce Banner in blind rage.
Jeez.
Yeah, Loki lost control of the Hulk, and he killed Bruce Banner because he didn't want Hulk to return to him. Unfortunately, this had consequences. They return to him, and Loki reveals that he gave Bruce's soul to Hela, where Loki and Thor go to Hell together to get Bruce Banner out so he can reunite with the Hulk.
Oh my gosh.
That is actually
That's convoluted.
It is. It's kind of the weirdest plot ever, but yeah. They go to Hell. They meet with Hela. Hela is Loki's daughter in this version. They got Janice Jod to voice Hela, which is really weird. But
oh yeah, that's a weird voice to hear.
yeah, meanwhile, Grey DeLisle's Lady Sif and Amora the Enchantress actually work together to slow the Hulk down. They're trying to fight him, trying to save Asgard. The Enchantress and Lady Sif both kick ass together fighting the Hulk, but it's only delaying the inevitable.
Right.
They go to Hell, and believe it or not, Hela's actually nice in this version. Hela gave Bruce Banner a nice afterlife, where he is living his happiest life ever. There's no Hulk. He's with his hot girlfriend, Betty Ross. They drew her to look like Liv Tyler. And they have a son together. Bruce Banner's actually at peace, actually happy,
God.
and likes staying here.
And now they gotta rip him away from that.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Thor and Loki have to rip him away from his happiness, and it's kind of funny. They do intervene with his happy life, and Bruce Banner's like, no, I want to stay here. I like it here. I'm finally at peace. And he actually refuses to save the day, but of course, Thor and Loki are forced to have him come back, and he realizes that, yeah, he's needed because the Hulk is going to destroy a lot of things and people.
Yeah.
Hulk almost kills Lady Sif, but Bruce Banner convinces Hulk to come back to him. Hela brings him back to Hell, where we get a rematch, but this time Thor and Loki double team the Hulk, holding him down so Bruce Banner can reunite with him. And they save the day from Loki's self. Yeah, they save the day. Bruce Banner and Hulk are finally one again. And then Thor betrays Loki before he betrays him by dumping him in Hell.
Nice.
Loki gets dragged down to Hell, and Hela keeps her father, like, frozen as a trophy on her wall.
Aw.
But yeah, Thor saves Bruce Banner. They're released back into the living world, and for the first time, Bruce Banner is actually praised as a hero. Asgard thanks him for stopping the Hulk. And it's like one of the few times Bruce gets like a happy ending. They praise him as like a nice guy, a true hero. And we end with Bruce walking off in the road as a reference to the old Hulk TV show.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of a bittersweet ending, but honestly really good.
Okay.
This movie is awesome. I'm going to put it on to S tier.
God, this happens in 45 minutes, you said?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Good God. They used their time well.
They
It
did.
sounds like.
Yeah, kind of like just like 2 episodes combined, isn't it?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Right. Honestly, this movie's really good. The animation is gorgeous. It looks kind of like an anime style animation.
Okay.
Acting's really top notch. Yeah, I loved all the actors. Fred Tatasciore nails it as the Hulk. I do love Graham McTavish as Loki, and especially Kari Wahlgren's Amora. She's like the definitive voice for the Enchantress.
Okay.
Action's really cool. Plot's insanely convoluted, but super fun. Honestly, it's just a great crossover where we see Thor and Hulk at their best. Yeah, it's going on S tier. It is a God of Thunder. Writing a evil, problematic, but conflicted yandere, but not making her a sympathetic character is not the hard part, is how to make it not sound cheesy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we just see Loki gets his comeuppance at the end. Amora kind of gets away, but she's also heartbroken because she gets jealous when she sees Thor runs to Lady Sif to comfort her after the battle. Yeah, Amora walks off alone. She got away with it, but she's also not happy. Janice Jod played Hela. She's also Orange Blossom and Strawberry Shortcake, the movie. And Kana in Inuyasha, the final act.
Oh, okay.
She's also Felicia in the Darkstalkers OVA.
Yep.
And Sarah from Ed, Edd, and Eddy.
God.
Kari Wahlgren is cool as Amora. But as a Dandadan fan, she played Granny Psycho.
Okay.
Also waiting for the Enchantress and Marvel Rivals. I thought she was in there.
I don't think so.
I know Hela is.
She is?
Yeah, Hela's in it. Hela's a playable character.
Damn, I only played Magic, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, Graham McTavish was also Loki in EMH. Alright. Looks like I'm caught up. So any ideas for what MCU character movie tier list will do in the future? Possibly Iron Man, since Wolf loves Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hulk versus Thor, S tier. Love this movie. Highly recommend it. Go check it out. Kick-ass story and a fun in-between story for Earth's Mightiest Heroes. But yeah, completed our tier list, Wolf. We did it. We survived. Didn't bore you too much.
Life sucked out of me only once.
Yeah, for Love and Thunder. Alright, go over it one last time. I'll make this quick, Wolf, since only 6 movies.
Yeah.
Only one in rock bottom bad, and that is Love and Thunder. Puny God. Screw this movie, it sucks. We went over it in great detail. One of the worst things that not just happened to Thor, but the entire MCU. Garbage. None in Loki lame. That surprised me. Didn't have anyone here. Warriors 3rd, the first Thor movie. Yeah, it's fine. Basically what we've been saying, all that debate. It's an alright movie. In Valkyrie Valorous, we have The Dark World, which we didn't think was that bad.
Yeah, the freaking, not Dark Horse, the other one.
Yeah, most controversial opinion on this tier list, Wolf. Thor the Dark World wasn't that bad. Then Thor Tales of Asgard, honestly a nice fun prequel movie. It's short and simple, but oh so much fun, and a huge love letter for this saga. These two are A tier. And we got two in S tier, Hulk vs. Thor, which I really loved, really kick-ass crossover, but number one goes to Ragnarok. Well, if you need to re-see this one because it is so good. Fun, crazy, and everything great about Thor. This one definitely saved this character's image. This is the number one Thor movie. And that completes our tier list. You can see them all here. What about a tier list for every Marvel animated movie or series?
I trust Kat's abilities for that one.
Right, Wolf's not gonna sit down and watch Iron Man Armored Adventures with me.
That's not the one where he's a kid, is it?
Yeah, Teenage Tony Stark.
The CGI one.
Some people told me they liked it.
It's so I've heard.
Right.
I remember I caught like a glimpse of it when I was younger, but that's it.
Right. I did, some people want us to do the 90s Marvel cartoons. Remember that was a verse Spider-Man, X-Men, the
Sounds
Silver
like
Surfer
a bad
one.
comic book.
Right. I did love the Hulk and She-Hulk show. That one was actually pretty fun.
Fair enough.
Though, the Pride of the X-Men sucked, and their Avengers cartoon did not do so well, where they got the weirdest Avengers lineup. Yeah, might do that one. For movies, I might convince Wolf to do an Iron Man one, if that one comes around. Yeah, would you be interested in Iron Man one?
I don't know.
We already did Cap, we did Spidey, now we did the God of Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so future tier lists, I want to do the Scooby-Doo crossover episodes for sure. That one's on my list. Wolf, were you interested in joining me on that one?
Not really.
Understandable. We've met a lot of bad ones on there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the first Scooby-Doo crossover show. That one's most likely on next tier list. Of course, got a bunch of Halloween ones in the future. The Digital Circus.
Oh, yeah, it's alright. I do Tad C.
Right, I gotta rewatch it. Oh yeah, 90s Spider-Man animated character tier list would be sweet. I was trying to get Wolf to do the Spider-Man villains in general with me.
Nah.
Not interested?
Nope.
I really like Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. He's cool. Yep, he is. Read that one. Thor is finished. Yep, it is. We survived. I really read that one. Different Iron Man and his awesome friends from Disney Junior.
That's right.
That one. That one's like for really little kids, though. I'm not sure we'll watch that one.
Are you sure we got to?
The new Scooby-Doo movies, that crossovers. Yeah, Shadow, that one. I want to talk about that one, the show you've been reviewing. Yeah, I thought it would be a fun idea. I'm watching the show right now, so I'm almost caught up on it. Might do a tier list on those episodes one day. Definitely not the villains, because it's mostly about the guest stars rather than the mysteries. But yeah, we did it, Wolf. We survived Thor. Next tier list might do Tad C. Definitely gonna do Scooby in the future. That one's coming up. And yeah, for videos, Wolf, do you have anything to tease?
I've got one still, of course. I've started, but then I've stopped it. Because instead I'm doing a smaller project that I'm going to do to try and fluff up the end credits a bit more instead of just the black void with text and the music.
Right.
I'm working on a little bit of that.
Okay. For me, I might be doing a Tales from the Dark Side episode soon, and possibly one of the movie reviews I wanted to cross off. Those are what I have planned for the future so far, but that's all the teases you're getting. But thank you all for joining us. As you can see, had some pretty good Thor movies on here, which surprised me since we weren't huge fans of the character. But thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Wolf, for joining me and surviving this entire ordeal.
God, yeah.
But I'll thank you guys by finally setting you free. So let's wrap this up. Read last comments. Have you ever seen Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century? I saw like one episode of it. Wolf,
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Also, I still packed for the new house for my sister and mom. Okay, nice, Akira. All right, gonna wrap this up now. So thank you all for joining us, but we'll see you all later. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, or just tune in for more videos posted here on Wolf Entertainment. I'm your host, Catastrophe.
And I'm Wolf.
And we'll see you all later.
Bye-bye.
Until next time, Excelsior!